Welcome back to Match Vlogger. My name is Andre. How's everyone doing? It's the end of April. Wait, is it May? No, it's April. How's everyone doing tonight? I am incredibly sleepy. Very, very tired, boy. I would be asleep right now if I did not have contractual obligations. Here, 1 second. Yeah, I've been sleeping well. I feel like really bloated and tired, so my energy is gonna be just up here all the time. How's it going, everyone? Yo, Mr. Langenfidel, welcome. Sick. Mark Andre, how's it going? Good games yesterday. Sorry about the untimely demise. King Tittles, what's up? Hype. First time watching the Metro live stream, and not just VODs. Yo, welcome to live stream. It's like a totally different experience because now you can berate me in real time instead of just like angrily leaving comments. It's really nice. Andre May, yo, how's it going, man? How you doing? Joda, Kirk, how's it going? Good evening. Deswar, maybe even. Good evening. Yo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sleepy 2 a.m. here. Yeah, it's well, I don't got that yet, but enjoy Europe, I suppose. Yo, Jangavist. It's May in all our dreams. How's it going? It snowed yesterday. We got like 3-4 centimeters of snow. Maybe that's too much. 2-3 centimeters of snow in April. Nah, that's not great. Yo, Pickwin, how's it going? I saw one of your decks you posted. I think, wait, which deck did I see that of yours that was posted recently? I feel like I did, right? Yeah, the 6 House and Knife Potatoes. Welcome. Mark Andre says reorganizing binder time. Yeah, that was my weekend. I got the Nisei cards. They all came in. So I got a lot of cards. I got System Update. I got System Gateway, both parts. I got some organized play packs. I got those Calypso's Jinteki cards. And I did my binders on Sunday, and that took about 4.5 hours. So I didn't get to do the Jinteki review video. We do have the script, so I'll be recording it on Sunday. Yo, Calypso, yo, nice. How's it going, man? Thanks for posting those. We'll have the review up on Sunday or Monday. I'm gonna be doing it this weekend, but we couldn't get a video out this weekend, unfortunately, but we'll have it soon. Yo, Giles, what up? I don't know if I said, hey, Baza, how's it going, yo? Hey, fam, yo, Giles, what up? Sorry, I just said that. Jingles was trying to say, morning, Andre. I'm really tired. Please don't judge. Doing well. I love the lights in your room. Thank you. We have full control over these lights, and we use that to very minimal effect. Like, we have the ability to control just about all the lights in here. So if we cared, if we were like really clever, we could, you know. The problem is like the camera, then the lighting on the camera gets really gross. Do you know what the worst thing you can do is green lighting. There's nothing in the world as bad as green lighting. And my camera is color balanced to something slightly warmer than this, so this doesn't even show you how awful the room is. But if you want anybody to look unwell, the answer is always green lighting. Green lighting when you're playing Weyland? Oh, it's so bad though. Green lighting is like a pet peeve of mine. We'll just go back to this. That's nice, isn't it? Adam, what's up? Good to finally catch you live from the start. Give me that good Gateway jank. Yo, we're going to be playing something from Gateway today. I think we're going to be building Built to Last today, which not a lot of people have been playing. And I'm pretty sure it just like straight up dies to Boomerang and Botulus and everything else that's pretty, you know, popular right now. So it's going to be rough. But I feel like the shell that we made when I played against Pat during like our preview event, I feel like that's still fine. And I haven't seen anybody else playing that, this sort of like trickle light variant. It looks pretty good. Yo, Jim, what's up? Also reorganized and rotated so many cards left the game. Yeah, it's a fair bit of cards. I definitely ended up taking full sheets out of the binder. I think we lost like 7 or 8 sheets. So that's, you know, some amount of cards. I don't mind it, honestly. A smaller card pool is totally fine. Especially because a lot of the cards that rotated, like there's still a lot of really good stuff that rotated and a lot of strong stuff. And we haven't spent a lot of time talking about rotation exactly and what it means for like competitive or standard card pool or whatever. It's not that much that like changes too much, but there are some really strong stuff that rotates for sure. But yeah, it was okay. Are we playing Shaper Day? Solemn. Oh my god, am I just saying the same things over and over again? Yeah, we're gonna start with this deck list of the week. How's it going, Solemn? This is the Flies Have It. And what I'm really excited about is I feel like every deck list of the week so far, and it's only been 2 weeks, the deck list of the week has actually been very interesting. Like, I think learning how to play this is actually really important. And shout outs to Yusengren's channel. We've been shouting this out basically every week now. They've been having groups of people show up and playing the best decks or the deck list of the week or whatever against each other and grinding out matchups, and then talking about basically how to play it and talking about playing around certain cards and having strategy and taking back clicks and stuff like that. And they ended up playing this deck, I believe, in one of the recent videos. And understanding that this deck actually has very limited pressure and knowing how and when to use the pressure in certain matchups is really cool. And this deck list is specifically very well matched up against the aggressive HB, the precision design decks. At least that's my idea, and I think that's what the deck list says too. We're going to talk about this in a second. For those who are playing on JNet, I haven't had enough time to play casually and to take it on out. What's it looking like? What's it looking like? Interesting though, the green light is in the middle of the visible spectrum. Nah, the middle's garbage, ain't it? This is the bad part. Looking sick. I love how you struggle to remember the card that has the shouting kitten on last week's stream with the mural directly behind you. Yeah, that one. Whatever that one is. How's it going, Frank? It's definitely a cool deck, a very criminal shaper play. Yeah, in some ways it is. In some ways it is. At least like Mayfly, you know, it was kind of given to us by Nisei too to reveal it as a criminal-esque card. But again, I feel like it makes so much more sense in a deck like this. Can't help but not like Mayfly. Yo, Kirk, why not? Getting blown out by it? Spray onto you were right, Demolisher sucks. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But I'm glad at least one of us tested it. Yo, Phil, how's it going too? Woo fly, don't bother me. Yo, Paul, how's it going? Hello, all you beautiful people. Hey, Paul. Welcome as well. First thing you learn is stage tech green is the worst color to use. Exactly. And you know what? The reason why I ended up with like these sort of smart lights is I used to live with a stage tech. And this was a present that she got back in the day before they were like, I don't know, I guess they're kind of wildly more of a thing. And so we would have them in the whole apartment. And there was one basic rule, which was don't use green. Because again, anybody who works in theater, green lighting is poison. It's literally poison. He definitely gave Demolisher enough good chances. Oh, man. Anarchs right now are shapers and shapers are criminals. What are criminals? I think I was listening to the process. I think that's what it's called. The podcast from the UK players. And I'm enjoying it. They talk about all the like the good stuff, competitive stuff, and listening to their podcast before Gateway, before seeing all the cards even, they're talking about how like criminal would be like, oh, you know, you just swap in, play good stuff criminal, and you can play that same shell outside of 419 or outside of Leela now and play it even in literally any criminal. And so far we haven't seen that to be correct. I'm not like dunking on them at all, but I just haven't seen enough criminal play. I feel like the criminal cards that came in System Gateway, none of them are like wildly impactful to build new decks around, right? Like Penny Shaver is just good. The new what's it called is good. The new special order is just better, right? I have a feeling that I don't know. It's like stuff like this. Like this deck runs legwork for 2 influence. I have a kind of idea, especially in the sort of, I don't know, some of these HB decks don't ice up both centrals turn 1 depending on the matchup. I still feel like oh man, my brain is falling apart. What is that card where you run a central, draw a card, access 2? I feel like that card looks way better than the amount of play it is. And I don't know whether 2 influence on top of like is worth having an extra access versus the flexibility of jailbreak. Thank you. I read it. I didn't remember. I read it. Everyone writes jailbreak in chat. So Kirk is saying regarding Mayfly, I just feel it's so expensive to break like a non-season stuff. I guess I'm bad at adapting to shifting meta. Yeah, no, that's like one of the things is Mayfly is incredibly expensive. I think we talked about specifically when we talked about Mayfly in a review, is like good luck breaking a non-season. It costs like what, 7? Or 8? I read that fire. But the magic here with this deck specifically is that you put it on a flame out and then you get 9 credits. So you're breaking a server for free. On top of that, you have things like overclock. So I think if you're just like cold installing, cold running with a Mayfly, it's not great outside of like a limited format like System Gateway, where the ice suite is pretty low. The most you're ever going to spend on a single piece of ice in System Gateway, I guess barring a 3 advanced ice, is like 6 credits, 5 credits. I don't know. It's not a lot. I think Crim is probably still the best competitively, but it's the least fun to play at the moment. You think so, Arizan? I've seen like no representation, and maybe it's just because it's not like interesting. It's still the same deck. Good stuff, Crim is just the same old thing. Jailbreak is hot. I think Jailbreak is hot. I don't know. People aren't playing it. I love Gateway for what its target audience is, but the deck building was lackluster as experienced players. Started format at hot fire though. Yeah, Paul. So we got our cards in. And I got a gateway that I'm not going to disassemble. It's just on the shelf. And Maddie and I have been playing with it. And we started with like the 30 card deck, play to 6 agendas. And then you graduate to the 40 card deck, 7 agenda points. And then from there, we started building. So I built a precision design deck. And Maddie has an Anarch deck. And I think it's like kind of optimal. Like I feel like there's one best deck in that format. Like I think in the HB deck, there's like 2 or 3 slots that you could be like, okay, maybe I'll drop one Nico and play an extra sprint, something like that. But I feel like with such small cards, and specifically like, I don't know, yes, very few cards, right? I feel like there is an optimal deck in that format. So I think the deck building is limited. And of course it's going to be. Like when you look at the agendas, you're going to end up playing a 4-2 that cares about tags and HB. Like it's not great. You don't want to do that. But that being said, as soon as you go outside of that, like things open up so widely. And I think Startup is a really, really cool format for that. I've been enjoying a lot of Startup that I've been playing. Krim has always been my favorite, says Darkling. I'm excited to tinker after being gone for a few years. What looks good to you? Solomir says PPVP Steve is great stuff. I feel like I would try prepaid voice pad in Az before Steve, but I guess Steve gets more events, which is, kind of the point. I don't even know if prepaid voice pad is worth playing over Rizeki. I still don't understand it. I'm vouching for prepaid Steve with the Anarch Breakers and Leech. That's another thing. So like Jim, I'm really excited about the idea of playing aggressive criminal when it comes to like having Leech and having the Anarch Breakers like Buzzsaw, and maybe you want to play Cleaver over Paperclip. I don't know if you do, but you could. But what I've been noticing is like so much of the competitive meta that I've seen, and I don't think it's everything that I've seen, and I don't know how, like, I don't know what the meta looks like. Everything seems so goddamn fast. Where like people are getting to points where diversion of funds isn't good because the game is going to be over in 2 turns and it does enough damage. Or like the getting down your like Ice Carver and Leech and your breakers that are not bin breakers, and then running centrals to get counters. Like it feels like you can't keep up with that. Like that's the one thing I've noticed. It looks way too quick to install this stuff. Like if you want to play Anarch with like fixed strength breakers Ice Carver, try and install your Ice Carver. Like try and find a minute to find an Ice Carver. I don't know. I feel like we can't do it. Yo, Cap, how's it going? What are we playing tonight? We're starting here with the Doomrat's Kabonesa Wu deck. This is like a Mayfly Simulchip Flameout. I should have said Flameout before Simulchip. And after that, we're going to be playing, I think, Built to Last to see what we can do with it. Pigwin says you can doof PD, so precision design, down to like 3 credits, and they can make money and score. Like, completely nuts. Yeah, this is another thing that people have been noticed, and I've seen some like, I don't want to say salty comments, but like critical comments about like, oh, in the meta right now, so many of the agendas that people are going to play. And this is something that like is going to come up in the Jinteki review that I'm doing, but it feels like so many of the agendas are tempo positive, and it's wildly different than old Netrunner. I'm not saying it's bad, but like in old Netrunner, one of the big things that you had to expect is when a corp scored an agenda, they'd be trading their time and their credits for advancements to get an agenda that'll give them some effect. But just about all the agendas in certain decks, like that HB Precision Design deck, are tempo positive. They're incredibly tempo positive. So the idea is like, oh, they score, and not only do they not pay a lot because of a seamless launch, but then they gain 7 credits. And we're at a point where most corp decks are actually running more neutral agendas than running in-faction agendas. And that probably is an issue. Here, let's just see what it looks like if we search up Sandbox. Is Claude not kneecapping PD? No, they don't fast advance at all. They just never advance. They put a card in a remote server without advancements, and then they do seamless launch, advance, right? Like all of these decks, better than Polana. Like this is more neutral cards a lot of times. So like neutral, whale, HB, 3 neutrals, and right, like all these Asa decks or the PD decks are gonna be similar. This is more neutral than in faction. This is about. Oh, no, this actually has Vitruvius's, which, I don't even know if that's the best agenda. Oh, it's Startup, so I guess you have a limited card pool. The Plana list is probably like Obokata, Nisei, Sandbox. You see a lot there. Sandbox, Offworld, Nisei, maybe Obokata. Like, I don't know. That's like very different than what it used to be. It really is. Yo, Nero, how's it going? If the corp doesn't go to Zoom, the runner wins. If the meta's like all these people resort, it's metas like this, all people resort to Apocalypse. We got Apocalypse once last week. Is Apocalypse like a really big thing you have to worry about right now? About a week ago, I played like 3 Apocs in a row. Oof, it's rampant in competitive meta. Okay. I've seen a lot of docs nowadays that just run neutral agendas and then new 3-2. Yeah, it's Solomir. That's what I'm thinking. And like, I think that's probably still really good. All the neutral agendas are tempo positive, way more tempo positive than the agendas in faction. Like Off-World Office, gain 7 credits on score. You're scoring that for 3 credits in HB a lot of times. And you got the sandbox that makes everything good. It's wild. It's really wild. There's like no breathing room. They're scoring an agenda and then they're ready to score an agenda the next turn. It's a really big deal. So like, yeah, it's hard to set up and pressure them and get them down to credits and then have a window to capitalize on them being on low credits. Yeah, it's weird. Is the problem seamless launch? Dylan, how's it going? I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like it's just like if you look at the agenda pool, outside of seamless launch, which makes 4-2s better, outside of that, like I still think that the 4-2s out of faction are generally better. Like if you're asking me if I'm building a Jinteki deck and whether I want to put in Flower Sermon or whether I want to put in any of the neutral 4-2s, I'm not picking Flower Sermon. Even some decks would run fewer Nisei Mark IIs than they would some of the neutrals. But that's largely if they're playing Ag Infusion, where that ability is not as necessary. It's just like having money. But I don't think it's so much as entirely seamless launch. Seamless launch obviously makes that easier to score 4-2s and encourages you to play more 4-2s. Maybe if there's no seamless launch, some of those precision design decks would be playing 3-2s and then Mega Priest, stuff like that. But I just feel like the 4-2 agendas we haven't seen a really good 4-2 agenda in a long time. What's the last good 4-2 agenda that's been in faction? I mean, I'm not a fan of tempo positive agendas. I think they're bad for the game. You have to spend resources to win the game. Yeah. Kisser, I hear you. Like that was kind of one of the cool things that someone asked me, like, name some cool things. And there's always this conversation in my head ad infinitum, like, why is Netrunner such a good game? And one of the things specifically is that there's built-in comeback mechanic. The idea is that the corpse win condition slows them down. They have to spend money and credits to do it. And that's really good to make sure the other player always stays in the game and has a chance, or at least gets it closer to that. And not that like on-tempo agendas are like shouldn't exist, but like, oh my God, I don't think that first sentence holds true anymore. Yo, Sangren, how's it going? Ken, what up? Welcome. So maybe we finally ban Cyberdeck Sandbox. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we ban Sandbox. And for those who haven't played for a while, it's worth noting that we had something like this a long time ago. An NAPD contract isn't a tempo positive agenda, but there was a point in time in FFG's Netrunner where this agenda was showing up in every single deck to the detriment of all the other in-faction agendas. And it feels very similar to right now where people will play Sandbox and even Off-World Office over anything in-faction. And the NAPD contract eventually got banned. Or not so much banned, it got influenced and most wanted list, and I don't know if it ever got hard banned until it rotated. But there is a precedent, at least to FFG, where if neutral agendas become too prominent, there's something happened. I wouldn't be surprised if Sandbox got banned. On one hand, like maybe we have to be thankful for Sandbox, because without Sandbox, oh my God, we'd have Amakua and viruses everywhere. But on the other hand, yeah, it just seems like the best agenda, one of the best agendas in the game. Can you suggest a runner and a corp deck that's fairly balanced against one another for my wife and I to try after we get another few games of the Gateway starter decks under our belts? We've got Gateway and the deck building set for Gateway. Yo, Jab, that's a good question. Honestly, I feel like if you build with just the cards you have pretty limited options, right? Like if you're going to build an HB deck in System Gateway and the Gateway deck building pack, you basically have to play almost all the HB cards, and then you have 15 influence, and you have to play basically all the agendas to some extent. Honestly, if you start there, you're in a pretty good spot. But in terms of like pre-built Gateway decks out of that sort of a set, I don't have anything I can recommend off the top. I've no doubt a lot of people are posting them, and you can find like decks online where people be like, this is my startup. But I don't have a recommendation right away. But I would definitely recommend try deck building, because that's kind of one of the beauties. Like you put down all the cards and you notice like, oh, there's only like 8 HB cards. Okay, well, I'm going to play all the ones that give me money. I'm going to play all the ice because it's good. And then you can kind of start from there. That's not a great answer to you, but I don't have anything I can recommend right away. I probably will end up publishing this Gateway decks that I'm playing casually on the kitchen table, and maybe we can refer to that at some point. I don't think a lot of 4-2 agendas can generate more than some credits and value. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a problem. I think I'm way behind on chat, but like Nisei tokens, kind of, right? Atlas token is a 4-2, yeah. Vitruvius, sort of. Can you actually use neutral out of faction agendas? I'm extremely new and figuring stuff out with these streams have been a blessing. Yo, Dequar, yeah, totally. There's no restriction. The only restriction on what agendas you can put in your deck are they can't be out of, wait, no, that's a bad way to say it. If you play HB, you can play all the HB agendas, and anybody can play neutral agendas. So you can build a deck even out of entirely neutral agendas and not play any HB agendas in an HB deck if you want to. It might be a bit difficult, but you could do it. It actually probably isn't that difficult. You just play 4-2s and food. Yeah, agendas you can play anything, any neutrals, and then only your faction. You can't put like a Weyland agenda in an HB deck. Chad definitely answered way more elegantly than way sooner than I have. Also because you have so many options, the click mechanic is so good. Havakor, are you talking about like why the game is so good? Because oh my god, that's a really good reason why the game is so good. John says NAVD, I miss you, kind of. Yeah, I wonder how big of the drawback it is. There were so many games on like competitive tournament tables where somebody would score an NABD contract against Valencia as a 4-2 and not realize it has text on it. And it was like such a unfortunate situation. The only problem I have with Seamless Launch, it goes in every corp deck I build. Yeah, I kind of feel you. It depends on the agenda suite. If you play 5-3s, maybe not. But yeah, if you're playing 4-2s, there's a really good reason to play it. Remastered Edition is probably the last good in Faction 4-2. Yeah, I think that's probably right. But even that doesn't see play in every... I guess it's got a lot better with Sansan existing. But even that, like... I hear you. I like deck building. Wife is more intimidated, but with limited option, maybe you can persuade her. I really recommend trying it. It's very hard to build something awful unless you see every card on it that says like gain credits and you say nah. Like just put too much card draw in it, put too many credits in it, and you'll be good. And then just put at least 12 ice if you're a corp. I noticed there isn't any Jateki 5-3s in startup. There's only one 5-3 in all startup. Yeah. What are the agendas in startup? Weyland has like a really good suite. Jinteki has no 5-3s. Bologna is a good 5-3 in startup. Startup is really cool. The rules printed in the official FFG rules is you can't include cards that are out of faction and do not have influence dots printed on them. This only applies to agendas that aren't neutral at this point in time. Ah, cool. Arkham content when? Yukamok, I wish. We just don't have enough time. I set up a second computer. I have a streaming setup. I have like all this stuff set up. We've tested it. Ah, man, I just need more time. I overpromise. It's a bummer. All neutral cards with influence cost, including agendas, cost influence for everyone. NMPD contract is too strong, but it made things exciting. Yeah, it was exciting. People access with 3 credits. It's good stuff. Just saw the Australian bulk order has just landed. Oh man, what was it? Ah, shit. Trodon? Somebody has a YouTube video of them opening, I think in Europe, opening their bulk order of Netrunner cards. Netrunner Nisei cards order. And it's just like a time lapse of them over. Yeah, here is this Trodon. Oh my god. This is their video, not mine, obviously. But like I'm gonna play this on 2x speed. For 3-pointers to tech, you can only play a message. Oh, yeah, everyone has vulnerability audit. That's true. Oh, Vashron for HB. Yeah, that's a really good HB agenda and startup. Here, I can catch up in chat. Okay, lack the influence cost on the neutral agendas had me thinking you had to use a neutral corp. Nope, there are no neutral corps in standard or in a constructed format. Thanks for the answer. Yo, Dickwar, that's like a really big thing. You asked a question, and not only did I answer it eventually, and maybe not the best, but everybody else answers it too. And that's like not only the best thing to get an answer, but you realize and you meet people and seriously, like if you're watching this, if you leave comments, people answer that. If you like are watching the stream, ask questions. It's amazing. It's really good. They don't have an influence cost, but the fact that blank dots there means that they just cost 0 influence rather than being unimportable. Yeah, neutral agendas or everything. Netrunner community, fantastic. Yeah, John, so this is exactly the point here. Like, not only this is amazing because this means a lot of people are getting into Netrunner, but the fact that somebody bulk ordered this and some group of people went in together on this means that things are way more accessible. Because when you buy from Make Playing Cards or drive through cards, the more you buy, the cheaper the price per unit is. So the fact that communities can organize like this is so good for helping people get into the game. So I just hope this is approachable. We have to give a huge shout out to Nick in our meta who did the big order, and everyone has their cards now, I think this week, and it was also like, you know, thousands of dollars of product. Nick took everyone's packs and labeled them. My name was on my stuff. It was kind of incredible. Holy shit, how many boxes do they have? It's a good question. I don't know if they actually say. Okay, 400 packs, 63,160 cards. More info on products at nec.net. Oh, that's amazing. That's really, really good. That's so good. That's amazing. I don't know where Tradon plays from, but the comments seem to be in German or Dutch. I don't know. Wait, not Deutsch, Dutch. I'm going to sound really ignorant. I'm going to just move on right now. Andre, can I swear on your stream? Oh, yeah. Did you actually? You didn't. Did you write star? Chap in the UK did a crazy order, managed to get some stuff for me and some extras to mates get into. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. That poor table. I believe that was the Germans bulk order. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's just so cool. I'm so glad that people are like doing that together. I didn't want to scandalize your audience. They're, you know, they've seen some shit. Hunter 2, Ducci, what? Why are people writing in my passwords to everything? Tobo, how's it going? All right, let's try this deck. This deck actually is really cool. It's, I think, a bit tricky to play. The idea is that you're Kabonesa Wu. And Kabonesa Wu can, for 1 credit, pull a program from her deck and install it at 1 credit less. I just said a credit. I shouldn't have done that. For 1 click, you can pull a card from your deck and for 1 credit less install it. It can't be a virus. And why that's strong is that out of nowhere, a Mayfly shows up for 0. And it's going to be trashed at the end of the turn or removed from the game if you use Kabonesa Wu's ability, which you don't care, because if you use the Mayfly, it's going to trash itself, and it'll trash itself before it's removed from the game, so then it'll be in your heap, which means you can simul chip it out. And this means you have a lot of tricks. The first thing is you have flame out. So if you install your Mayfly onto here, you have 9 credits worth of running value. And that's absolutely absurd. It means your Mayfly can get through a lot of stuff really early. And you also have 3 copies of falsified credentials, which I love this, because knowing when to run is such a big deal for this Kabonesa deck, because you have very limited run pressure. You have 3 Mayfly, 3 simul chips, you have a single Gauss for what it's worth. And then do you have any compile? And you have 2 compile. So you have actually pretty limited run options, but you can always contest the remote when you need to. And you're also able to contest the remote as soon as turn 1. Like, even if you don't have a flame out, you can just Mayfly into overclock and that'll get you most of the way there. You also have a political operative, which is really cool. It gets some pressure on. It lets you deal with remote upgrades, because if your run gets ended by things like Anoetic Void or Monogarm Skunkworks, it's a really big deal because you've spent a lot of your resources on a single run, and this is quite nice. You also have a bit of HQ pressure. I'm pretty sure you could play Jailbreak and save 2 influence. I don't know what you can do with it. And then the pièce de résistance is the Contaminate, which you use on the turn in which you pull out from your deck by not pulling out directly, because you can't pull out Conduit directly from your deck because it's a virus, but you have to like woo out a self-modifying code, and then maybe, well, you don't want to actually like do that mid-run running R&D with an overclock to install your Conduit, because then it'll get a counter, and the only way to use Contaminate if it doesn't have a counter. But it's cool. It's neat. It has a burst R&D pressure, because the idea is like out of nowhere, near clicklessly if you want, actually for 1 click, you can have a Contaminate with 3 counters on it, and you can just say go. That's really great. What would be amazing if her ability was 1 credit? Yeah, it would be busted out, wouldn't it? Flame out is unique. How does that work? Yeah, so unique means you only have 1 card by that name installed at a time. If you choose to install a second flame out, you just have to trash the existing flame out. So that's what that asterisk means, or that diamond means. It means uniqueness. It means in the lore of Netrunner, flame out is a single thing. Just like the political operative is not unique. Excuse me. Yeah, it just means it's unique. In lore, that generally means there's only 1 of them in the world. John, how's it going? Happy Thursday to everyone's favorite Montrealian, Montrealite. I don't actually know what we're called. Yeah, I don't honestly know. It's like a legend rule. Nowadays, people play political operative to deal with PD's turn 1 Rashida. You also see some really cool plays, and the Sengrin's channel shouts this out, which is amazing, is that if you, okay, so check this out, and this is a really big deal for pressure. As a newer player, one of the best things you have to do is learn how to play against Spin Doctor. Okay, that is like totally hyperbole. It's not one of the best things you have to do, but it's really important to play around Spin Doctor. So yesterday, playing on casual tabletop in the kitchen, I was playing as a corp, and I used Spin Doctor, and I drew, and then I discarded some cards. And my opponent wasn't running Archives and didn't run my Spin Doctor, because Spin Doctor is a bit different than the card of which it's kind of modeled after, is that it doesn't do anything after you res it, besides its ability. And that's a really big deal, because people will have agendas in Archives, and if you're running R&D, you're never going to see those agendas. It's like you remove those agendas from the game. It's in your best interest to get those agendas back into R&D as the runner to have a chance to see them. You can't let 6 points of agendas be hanging out in Archives for half the game. You need to pressure Spin Doctor. And one of the cool plays you're seeing, and the Sengrins shouted this out in their stream, and this is something high-level players do, is after you run HQ, Corpse will pop Spin Doctor. You run HQ and they'll be like, wait, and then to react and pop Spin Doctor. And the reason is because if they don't do that, you could immediately install Political Operative. And because you're the active player, you can spend all your paid abilities before giving privilege or priority up to the corp. So you can install Political Operative and immediately pop it, trashing the Spin Doctor. And now there'll be 6 points of agenda stuck in archives because the Spin Doctor has been Political Operatived. So you have to watch out. Sometimes actually against a very savvy corporation, running HQ can trash the Spin Doctor, which is so cool to see that interaction because that used to be a thing before. Yo, Maxime. How's it going? Pièce de résistance, elbow cough. Thanks, man. How you doing, bud? Oh, I saw they made the change to consoles. Yeah, you can overinstall. You can now overinstall a console with a new console, which it makes it actually, it lines it up with all the other rules for unique cards. Because there are a bunch of unique cards that you want to overinstall as well, right? So say you're playing Startup or Standard and you have Class Act. Class Act is a great card, but it also does something when you install it. So sometimes in the mid game, you might actually install your second Class Act, trashing your first Class Act, so that you can actually get that draw 4 cards. I think the most often overinstalled unique card in the game right now is probably Boomerang. You can also woo out SMC to Rizeki too. This deck doesn't have Rizeki, I don't think. Yeah, Rizeki's way too slow. It's just too slow. That's kind of what I'm learning about standard format. You can't woo out Rizekis. It's way too slow. Can you trash consoles by installing console? Yeah, Kat, they changed that a couple weeks ago. They put it in the, they said it's going to be in the 1.5 update. A whole new world. Yeah, I'm actually excited. John says Montrealer. It'll count. Regions will trash another region when installing? Yes, that is true, even if they're not unique because of the rules. Console got a huge buff. I haven't seen anybody use the console buff. I'm way too slow on chat. Oh my god. I need to, okay, I'm going to just put it on the bottom and then cut my losses after I read everything quickly. Can we double region now? No, you can't. You lose worlds. You can't play a card mid-run, but use an already installed card's ability. Got it. You can't play a card. No, okay, so you can't install a card mid-run because installing a card takes a click, but there's a lot of abilities in the game of Netrunner that let you install cards without spending a click. Because when you install a card, classically, you're spending the click ability on the basic runner actions. But if there's something like Simulchip says install one program, that doesn't cost a click. So there's a lot of ways to install cards, specifically in Shaper mid-run. The rules are allow you to trash cards in the router server before installing. It's like overinstalling programs. Okay, I've caught up. Had an interesting point come up on JNet a day or two ago about how Polyp cannot stop Sansan grade FA unless the grid is already res. Correct, yeah. There's a lot of things like that. Okay, so I'll just go over that and then we'll jump into the deck. So Political Operative is a hell of a card. And there is some good reason to play right now, but the ways that you can use Political Operative are incredibly flexible. So Political Operative, you can pay at instant speed. At any paid ability window, you can trash a res card. But it's important to know that an opponent can use, if it's your opponent's turn, your opponent can res something and then do as many paid abilities as they want before they give priority over to you. So the idea is, say that your opponent wants to fast advance a card with Sansan City Grid. So they install a card onto an unres Sansan City Grid. They go advance, advance. Okay? Now the card has 2 advancements on it. It's a 3/2 agenda. So they could res the Sansan City Grid, and then before giving you a priority, a paid ability priority, they could do all their paid abilities they want. So as a paid ability, they'd res the Sansan City Grid, and then their next paid ability, without giving privilege to you, priority to you, they'd score the agenda. Then once they say, I'm done with paid abilities, it can go back to you, and that's when you could Political Operative to trash the Sansan. Unfortunately, at that point, they've already scored an agenda, so it doesn't seem amazing. But if the Sansan isn't resed, you can res, score, all that stuff, because it's a bunch of paid abilities. You just do them all in a row in the same window before saying, do you want to do anything? So it's always worth noting, if it is your turn, the active player can take as many paid abilities as they want in a row before giving the opponent an option to do a paid ability. That's the timing structure of Netrunner. So watch out. Political Operative is really strong, but as a corpse turn, you can always res and generally get value out of things. Now it gets a bit trickier with things like Rashida, because anything that needs to be alive at a certain window, you would have to res Rashida, and then you had no other paid abilities. So then your opponent has a paid ability and they can Political Operative Rashida. And then once they're done their paid ability, then start a turn happens. So you have to watch out for things like this. Magic is back and forth, right? And Netrunners, whoever's turn it is, does everything they want and then passes. Yeah, so Magic, and I don't know Magic too well. Magic, you go back and forth and do stack bottom to top. I've been playing Sky Tear, which is a bit different, where you can react to any part of it. Maybe like Magic, that works too. But in Netrunner, you do all your paid abilities and you pass to your opponent, but then after your opponent has done all of theirs, you can still react to it, if I'm not mistaken. So I could be like, I'm going to do this and this and this, and then I'll pass priority to you, and then you do this and this. But it doesn't go onto a stack in Magic and happen in a reverse order. It happens when you do them. But after you're done, say then you pull it a cooperative, then it can go back to me, and then I can get a paid ability, and then as many paid abilities as I want. Sometimes feel dejected when Mr. Streamer won't read all the things we type. Clearly, it's usually faster for tens of people to type in there for Mr. Streamer. I'm not reading all of that. Where Andre might be unable to clone himself or buy an Android. However, this won't be an issue once we take control of HP. Thank you, Pickwin. Need an Andre model buy rate for something increased efficiency. Oh man, it'll just read chat. It'll be great. Yo, Lanilla, how's it going? How you doing? Ixaran MTG stack is top down like a stack. Yeah. So Magic is last and first out. LIFO. Cool. I feel like we've explained this deck. Let's go lose with it. This deck actually seems really tricky, right? Like it's technically a combo deck to some extent. You have Contaminate. You need to know when to put pressure. You need to know when to set up. The order of you installing things is also pretty important. I've seen the Yusengren again. Check out Yusengren's deck, or YouTube channel, excuse me, because they have a video. Oh my God, Yusengren, the one video where you were playing against Deer, I believe, and then they played perfectly against a Kawa product and ran R&D, or a Kawa project. Or no, sorry. Yeah, Ikwa, right? And then they run R&D and win, and you're like, I'm going to count that as a win from me. Was, I think, really funny. I laughed out loud. But it's really good that there's these sort of videos that the itinerant protesters are putting together to teach how decks work. Let's play some Netrunner. Yeah, it's been a while. We've been talking a bit too much, huh? Glad you liked it. Yeah. Deer played it perfectly, obviously with support. That's what they're there for. And then they won. And you're like, well, I'm going to count that as a win for me. It was really funny. But you're right. It's just bad luck. LIFO, it's all the same meaning, but over. Never heard that one. Yeah, we were taught that in school, like FIFO, LIFO, different ways to deal with like stack or whatever in code. Wait, I don't have to do it this way. You can just copy this, JNet import deck. Let's go. That was the 1 in 20. You lost, bud. Better lucky than good. They played it, no, but they played it perfectly. Like that's such a big deal, and I'd love to shout that out. So in short, in the videos you see on Yusengren's YouTube channel, Yusengren, we gotta talk after this because I want to get involved in these if I can. Shit, because I don't know exactly how this happens. If you search Yusengren SC, nah, it's not gonna work. You go to YouTube. Maybe I should go back to those videos and pull the best lessons of those clips. If anything, you could put timestamps, and that would help a lot, where you can demarcate on your time bar. It's really easy to do, actually. It doesn't take very long, so people can jump through. But these are the videos. If you go to Yusengren ESC, Yusengren is working with a group of people that are in a Discord. Correct me as soon as I go wrong here, where they basically are meeting together on a regular basis and playing games together as a group, generally with open hands, and discussing the right lines and stuff like that. And it's really cool to watch. And one of the games, I don't know what the timestamp is specifically, but it's really exciting because they're playing around Ikawa Project, which is a 5-3 agenda that says for the runner to steal this agenda, they have to spend a click and 2 credits. And Deer is looking at they don't have a really good situation going on, and they have a chance to win. This is actually probably the right moment. And they play everything exactly perfectly. Like you see at some point, they say like, I'm going to do this and this. And then everyone together says like, I think this might be a better line if you do this and this to respect this. But the idea is that even in this situation where they're going to lose on server 2 is an agenda that they're going to lose to if they can't do everything. They basically play to their outs, and their outs was a 1 in 20 in R&D, but they did everything perfectly to not F it up. Like they gave themselves the best odds by making sure they accessed R&D exactly, playing around mana garm, playing around having a click and 2 credits at the end of the turn. And that's like so good. It's like such a teachable moment where like if things are bad, still figure out what your out is and play towards it. And this game I think highlighted it really well. I'm a big fan of this kind of content. Hashtag content. All right, let's not follow any of that advice and play a runner deck. This is what makes Netrunner so compelling to watch. There's a lot of reasons. That's a really good one. Join the itinerant. Yo, I'm in the Discord, and there's like nothing going on there. Like I don't see. Did I join the wrong one? That's a Discord we organize. Someone probably. I don't see any movement in it. There's like one server. Am I like not in? Am I behind a barrier or something? Like not a Netrunner barrier, like a Discord barrier. They said permission wrong. Okay, because I was in there. It's like there's like 6 people in here, and there's like 2 people introducing themselves, and then there's nothing else. Okay. All right. We'll sort it out. Maybe it's because I didn't introduce myself. But anyways, if you want to get involved in that, I'd recommend checking out that Discord that Usengren posted a link to. It's really cool. It's a really cool way. There's a thing you need to react to. I think maybe it's because I didn't introduce myself that it maybe thinks I'm a problem. Hey, oh, Arzan. So Arzan's playing Acme Consulting. What did Acme lose in rotation? They lost bandwidth. They lost pachinko. Your run ended. I don't know what else. Oh shit, I still don't have a button for mulligan. I guess that technically works. So they kept their hand. So this is Acme Consulting. It says the first ice we encounter on every server, you're considered tagged. So that means things like IP block are a nightmare, let alone we're dealing with an AI. So IP block's already going to be a nightmare. Our opening hand has a Mayfly in it, which we don't exactly want. We have double gamble though, which is good for us to deal with hard-hitting news or public trail if we really need to. But I think we can mulligan this. I think the best cards in our hand are just sure gamble falsified. I don't know how to play this. You need an icebreaker for that Discord ice. Important thing is that Acme didn't lose his data ward. Yeah, they still have data ward. Well, this doesn't seem better. This is the sort of thing where I'd love to have, just would love to have a jailbreak. Did they keep? Yeah, they did. The bot is very good at spotting malcontents. Sorry, Andre. Yeah, it happens. All right. Yeah, UCF was rotated a long time ago, wasn't it? UCF was a really big deal, Universal Connectivity Fee. All right, we're dirty laundering. It's a Mamba Temple. Whoa. The fuck? What's server 1? Is this an AR enhanced security deck? This is going to be like a Maryland, right? What is this? Yeah, there you go. There's a Maryland. So we probably end up trashing this. That's 8 credits for them. They already spent 1 resing it. I don't feel too bad about that. Whoa, movable. How's it going? Wrong OBS scene? Wait, what? But you're right. I have to do this. Thank you. Fully operational. Oh, Rakesh, I think you're right. Yeah, fully operational makes a lot of sense. You do see Acme Consulting doing fully operational every once in a while. So we have flame out. We have falsified. So if they jam on anything, there's actually a chance that we do want to destroy the Mamba Temple. We do have a link. We're not the best against hard-hitting news, so we'd have to risk it. We do have misdirection in our deck, which we can always pull out for a click. So I actually want to just take this down and make sure their economy suffers. Right? Because now they spent 2 credits and got nothing for it, and we wiped everything. Our economy is really bad. We can always like falsify it over on an agenda and hope. But we're not too weak to hard hitting news. Let's get a dirty laundry here. Oh, that's good. This is probably not right. It's a Maryland server 4, so we'll run server 3. We want to hit Rashida's. They can res a Maryland, it'll be fine. It's a Jeeves. Was overclocking the Mamba with an SMC worth it? Oh, overclocking actually is really worth it. I think you just overclock to trash something. I don't even think you need to use the SMC because you can use this to trash things. Like, I think we overclock the Jeeves. I forgot that you can just use this to deal with assets. It's really good. So this one is a Jeeves. This one here is a Maryland. If they res the Maryland, it's credit negative, but they probably won't shuffle it. If they res the Jeeves, they're down 2. They just generally do draw, install. Yeah, I'll run the Jeeves. Overclocking Jeeves is 100%. Yeah, it's really good. 1 credit to trash the Jeeves is nice. Let them res Jeeves. The thing is that they res Jeeves, right? They're going to draw 3, and then we're in a really bad spot. Oh, shit. They had hedge fund. That was their whole hand. Server 5. Okay. Well, we definitely need to do that. So with nothing in hand, this is a Rashida, right? Like their economy is going to be good now, but it's going to be hard for them to get punishment. Ooh, they just drew a spin doctor. They're immediately removing it, not even letting us trash it. I'm surprised about that. So we're going to install the telework and use it. That's a quite good card. We're trying to ping you now in IPT. Okay, cool. I'll open it after. I don't have it right now. I see on my phone. I can see the message Dan sent and you sent. Streamer special services. Oh my God. Okay, so I think we want to run that. I think we do flame out run this. The problem is IP block again is a nightmare. So we install flame out. We're going to woo out in a Mayfly. We're going to host it. Huh? Oh, that's really awkward. Wait, I can't click on it now. What? Oh no, no, JNet, no. Uh-oh. Click the flame out again? No. The US kind of bugged for flame out up. Ah, beans. Okay. Yo, Warwick, how's it going? Oh, bummer. Okay. We'll just do it this way. Shit. Credit. We'll just goof it. Oh, it just doesn't work at all? Oh, it just doesn't work at all. Oh, that's not even working. Can you invert the stack layout? Yeah, that actually might work. Click it to close the prompt. It's not. Oh, okay. Lovely. Nice. Nailed it. Okay. No, we're good. That's good to know. So this is a new thing that Jane added, and I'm a big fan of it. It looks like it's less, last week it was a bit more violent. So I'm gonna run here again. There's some pretty bad reses here. Slot machine's okay. We're considered to have a tag. We actually will just break it. So we have flame out into compile. So we're gonna break it because we have the free credits, and this thing's gonna be trashed anyways or removed from the game. It's actually in our best interest to trash it. So we're gonna use 4 for strength. Oh no. Is this really hard to play right now? Shit. We'll keep track of this. And then I'll break for 2. Breaking for 2. So we spend 4, 5, 6. So, ooh, that's really nice. Counter. Whoa, that's really nice. So 4, 5, 6. So there should be 3 on it. What? Looks like interaction got flamed out. It's not letting me use the money on it. Okay, so I'm just do this. Five or 3, and I should be on 5. Okay. All out in the wash. Poor JNet devs. Yeah, I know. It's a bummer, but oh my god, this stuff is so good. Like, this will work. I have no doubt really soon. That's gonna be great. Yeah, there's a receipt. Okay, we'll trash it. We can't use this, right? No. So then this will be trashed because of the flame out, so that's cool. We're at a risk of getting hard-hitting news, so I'm just gonna hit this button and end turns, flame out. Oh, Mayfly will trash itself. It should have anyways. No one has played flame out or hive mind in years, so we don't need to fix those. It's such a bummer when that happens. Also, Will, you said hustle high. First time watching live because I'm a sleepy man from the UK. Yo, that's both of us. I'm really sleepy too. Hopefully we can get some rest. That fly should be dead. Yeah, it trashed us up. It's a bit too late. Something goofy's happening. So we know that it's hardware into event. And we only have not that much other hardware in the deck. We have 3 simul chips and then 1 more flame out. So we can actually run server 6 here relatively well. I think we will. Because you never broke with fly. Oh yeah, we actually didn't hit the break, right? Hardware event. Ah, shit. So we have a flame out into a compile into a sure gamble. Okay. I've been having a nature adventure. There's a hummingbird nest right outside my bedroom. I'm taking pictures of babies every day until they fly. If I just need, that sounds really nice. Hummingbirds are like incredible. They're like unbelievable. I saw hummingbirds for the first time when I was in San Francisco, and just like fantasy creature, it's like seeing a unicorn. Like, what? How is this a real thing? I never respond when you ask how I'm doing because I have my hands full with a burrito the size of my head. I'm doing well. Good to hear. There are pictures in the GLC Discord if you're in there. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'll check that out. Slot machine's a fair card. Yeah, right? Oh my god. 1 influence. Let's go. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to struggle to figure out how to pilot the game. RSN has a lot of credits. I don't know what server 7 is. Probably a Maryland, but I don't know whether we have to set up. Like, our economy is pretty minimal. And we could install a flameout over a flameout. We do have the conduit into contaminate package, so we could install that Mayfly run, and then we could compile run. So we can always set up to do all that stuff, but we have to steal like Bologna's. So we're gonna need a lot of money on top of it. We'll draw once again. Oh, it's technically, oh, you can't do double contaminate because contaminate means one has no virus counters. So we can't do conduit contaminate. So I'm gonna throw out one of these for sure. Clicking for a credit seems really bad. We probably just overinstall the flameout on the flameout. Or we pull a Kabonesa Wu, pull an SMC on the flameout, and then we pop that for something. That's probably better. We can also use these credits for misdirection, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm not sure how we meant to play this. Credit up and don't do anything except steal agendas. I think that's right. Like, I think that's what we want to do. No Canadian hummingbirds? No, there definitely are hummingbirds in Canada. I just think that I have to go to the West Coast, and I haven't been to BC. I'd imagine BC has hummingbirds. There are hummingbirds in Canada, not as many species as down here in the States. I assume you'd have to go west. I saw a video of a hummingbird snoring, and it was the most adorable thing. Aww. I got a bonus at work and I'm getting a raise. I say things are doing pretty good. Yeah, Ken, that's really good to hear. I wish you all the best success at work. That's amazing. You have them in Saskatchewan. You see them fairly often. No way. Hummingbirds in the prairies? Don't they need... I guess there are a lot of flowers in the prairies. Prairie flowers. You haven't discarded yet? Oh, that's embarrassing. Why won't it let me click it? Something's wrong. Okay. You got hummingbirds in Alabama? What? Is this the Wingspan channel? Yo, Chris. Let's rate our favorite birds based off of wing length. Hummingbird, probably bottom, but a top tier bird. Albatross, awesome. Great bird. There are hummingbirds in Muskoka? What? How have I never seen a hummingbird? Okay, so this is fine. They put ice in front of this thing. That doesn't matter. At this point, they've actually drawn a fair bit. The chance of this being an agenda is high. The chance of them having an agenda in hand is also even higher. Server 7 honestly looks like a Jeeves at this point, because I think they'll Jeeves into like a remastered edition. So we could fork them. Their ice is generally like really good for as expensive it is. So not feeling great about it. I don't know what our lines here are. Like, we can put a Mayfly in here, run. We don't have to break this. I'd love a falsified to see what this is. Oh man, we have real bird talk here. Are you sure you're living in Canada? Yeah, pretty sure. Quebec has them too. Quebec doesn't have hummingbirds. I don't even know the French word for hummingbird. Okay, I don't know what we're doing anymore. I just drew and I didn't think about the turn, which is a bad start. These netrunnerdb deck lists of weeks have been really stressful for me. I don't have the fortitude to figure this out. Okay, I'm just gonna pile through it. There we go. So we could do falsified in a last click run if we really wanted to. I'm pretty sure they end up scoring a 4-2 with the Jeeves, which is gonna cost them probably no money. Lol. We could install the misdirection. It's probably not the worst to show that we have it. It's something. It also helps us if we double run through there. Yeah, that's probably fine. What do we pop the SMC for though? What do we SMC for? Like Gauss? Gauss is pretty bad. Gauss is really good though if they have an IP block on R&D. Like we could react to it. I think we do want to pull an SMC on here at the turn that we smash. Better even Portuguese. Bea Flora. Flower kisser. The last Mayfly? We SMC for the last Mayfly? Yeah, I guess you're right, we do. We might as well because it's better than drawing it. But then what did we install it on? We don't install it on onto another flameout. I have no idea how to play this because the idea is that you want to install a flameout, but we install the SMC, pop the SMC to install the breaker, but then the breaker isn't on a flameout. But we can get a flameout for free, and Mayfly for free, that's for sure. Ah, yuck. Yuck, sorry. If you can install Mayfly from hand, right? So we can bank on it for next turn. You could. It's cheaper to pull it from your deck though, and then you don't draw it. Like Kabonesa is just cheaper by a credit, so it's technically less efficient. I'm just gonna get rid of that value. I don't think it's a lot of value. Picaflor. It's a hummingbird. It's a wandering albatross. Is that the biggest one? Hummingbird can make for a good shaper program name. It really would. They have a lot of birds, don't they? French doesn't have a word for hummingbird. Get out. Oh, wow. Arizona playing the matchup. Maryland campaign, Mumba Temple. Damn. That's good. Respect. That's quite nice. So it doesn't look like they're on oh bless you. That they're on fully operational. This is super server. So like we really want to pressure HQ. Colibri in French? You're dodging. So we have a word for it. We figured it out. I'll diesel. I'm not even thinking. Okay, so then we can do this into creative. That's good enough. Our hand. We don't have a simul chip yet. Having a mayfly in the bin, we already do. Compile. I think we keep the diesel. I think the compile is the worst card. Yeah. I flunked French. I did flunk French in high school, so I might be wrong on that. Biologists who fitted GPS trackers to the aptly named wandering albatross have discovered that these large birds can travel at least 15,000 kilometers over the sea before returning to land. Wow. Compiles recursion? It is. No, it totally is. But like, simul seems to be a bit nicer. So we're hoping that they score at a Bologna here. Again, this could be re-education into what's it? Is there any way that we lose here? Like, there's a small chance that this is Jeeves. They res the Jeeves, and then they score a re-education, and then they hit us with the 5-3, the neurospike. There's a small chance we could die. Let's try and just get economy down. I'm hoping that's just a Bologna and that's it. I concur on Colibri being the French word. Compile's one of the 9 runs you can make. Oh, okay, so maybe the compile was wrong. Not a re-education. Oh, we die. We called it, and we didn't play around it. You just died to this, by the way. Ah, oh, that's content. We literally called it. Like, if this is going to be a Jeeves, this is going to be re-education. We're not going to run it. We're going to take the net damage. And, oh, man, that happens. Yeah, so there's... Neurospike has, like, I think 5 agendas in the game that are really good with it. In NBN, you have re-education, and it's really powerful. You had a falsified? Yeah, we had a falsified, but what are we going to do? Run this? Probably. Yeah, probably. Should have ran it. I was just setting up for the combo off of R&D. Like, I was just hoping that they would score a Bologna and go from there. Because I don't know. I guess in Acme it makes a lot of sense because you can get it out early behind a data ward. So maybe we have to play around that combo. And this is really interesting too because there's a lot of things that it deals with well. Like I've had worse it deals with. It doesn't deal with all the other like permanent net damage stuff like Caldera or No One Home, if you want to call that permanent. Oh, for sure. I think so. I was hoping for Bologna. And then I'd slam R&D with the dig. The Jeeves into Neuro seemed pretty narrow. You didn't Rashida once. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. Yeah, Mayfly against the data ward, like it's gonna be a problem. Like this is still really hard to deal with. We're gonna have a tag, so then we have to break F2P. So the chance of it getting here is a possibility. It's just like, no, it's not gonna happen. Like we could spend all our money stealing that, and it's right. But what would have been better is if we wanted to play around that, it's just trash Jeeves. Just go ahead and trash Jeeves, right? Like if we trash Jeeves, this doesn't happen. Maybe they advance it once we buy ourselves a turn. And there was an IP block on R&D, which is neat. So we'd actually like try and install a Gauss and run this. Are there only 653s in the new 3-2? In this deck? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Data ward is 11 for Mayfly plus 3 for the counter. Yeah. And oh, then you're not tagged. So then it's like, it's 11 for this. It's 4 for this. This is probably 7. Like you can't afford that. And then hope they don't have hard-hitting news. Like it's really difficult. Oh, I just left without saying anything. That's a bummer. We're runner. Yeah, no, that'll get you. That'll definitely get you. And I think that there's a lot of people that are going to die to that. I don't know if that's the best deck. There's a chance it is. Like if that's like the best, one of the archetypes you have to worry about. I wouldn't be entirely surprised, but it's really rude. Like install double advance, or you want to do install triple advance unless you have a seamless launch, which you could easily put in your deck. Dumpster. Okay. Oh, okay. BON. Interesting. Hey. So we have no damage protection in faction. We have, or in our deck, we have no Onicom. We have no nothing else to prevent us for damage. So we have to worry about punitive. We have no what's it called? Church. We do have misdirection, which is nice. Our opening hand has a flame out, has a diesel, dirty laundry overclock. I think we can probably keep this. Don't worry about the leave. I tend to pop over to the stream and see you on anyways. Yeah, sorry. I normally say like thanks to the game or something. I just like peaced out. They also could be a mass comms deck. We don't have Clot, but like if they start advancing things, it's gonna be pretty rough for us. The thing is like we can't poke, and one of the best things you want to do here is you want to is that you want to just start poking them because their ice is actually pretty rubbish on turn 1 before they get advancements on it. So I'd love to poke here, but like poking is probably not right when we want to just set up. So I'm gonna set up. This Wu deck is really hard, and I think it'll overrate it a little. Yeah, I don't know if it's tier 1, but it's definitely very difficult to play. Understanding like you have to have a good read on the ice. Falsified helps a lot with the deck. I think this deck would be very hard to play without Falsified. So I'm just gonna play all the money cards. What do we do last click? This is only 2 to install. Yeah, I think we can install it. That's fine. Pray you don't see Glenn's station. The entire goal is basically to rush out a re-ed behind a data ward. Oh, sorry, those are 2 different comments. You have the same symbol. Yeah, I believe it. That's what I think I saw a deck list on. If it was not your deck list on Netrunnerdb, people just saying data ward go. Dan BON on JNet, a tale as old as time. I actually enjoyed the last Builder Nations deck we played. We played like Limes' deck when Scorched Earth was a thing. I kind of liked it a lot. I don't think they're non-NP bond decks. Fuck. Excuse me. Talk about it. What is this? I'm just gonna run it. Like, what could it be? It's only 4 damage. I'm not gonna dirty laundry because it could be an NGO front. And then we lose the credits. So now there's a huge credit swing, but we do have misdirection. So like it doesn't feel too bad. Hopefully we install something here. The problem is like they definitely have what's it called? Hortums. So there's a way that they can really goof us. This deck has no way to deal with a triple advanced Hortum. No way to deal with it. Like literally 0 way to deal with a triple advanced Hortum. Happy hunting. Thanks, Lamilla. Take care, eh? Go ahead, I'll catch the rest of VOD. All right, there you go. Game plan over. We can't run R&D anymore. We have to win off of HQ. This is a huge problem with this list. Not that it's so important. Manual advanced Hortum meta. Yeah, I think if that's a Hortum, we lose. Like, we probably should concede. We should have dirty laundry here. It's not cat. So we don't have that many runs. So I think we actually have to let this fire. We can eventually break this with Gauss. Wait, can it put advancement on itself? And then we take damage. Oh man, it's amazing. What is we tried like really, really hard? Could we get through Hortum then maybe? What if we tried hard? No. No, you can't. We could hope they're bluffing. Yeah, we could. But like if you hit a Hortum and they're not bluffing, oh my God, it's such a blowout. It's like incredibly bad. Just believe. Yeah, I don't know what we do here. I don't feel good about any of this. You just need to get them down to 4 credits before you conduit in. I just don't think that's gonna happen. They're manually advancing stuff. Like they're gonna just mass comms once and they'll have enough money for everything. The first time in my life I've seen advanced Hortum fire. Oh man, people would Marcus Batty that thing in SSO. It's really good. So this could be the reason not to dirty laundry is this could be a spin doctor. Yeah, there you go. Removing spin doctor for a single NGO front doesn't seem good. I'd rather have the runner waste 2 credits. Maybe that's just me. And now we can't gaff set that well. We just have to set up, and this is really clumsy because we have a lot of cards that don't set up well. Might as well find out if it's an early Hortum. I'd rather wait for them to not have credits. I think that is the only line we have out. Oh, there you go. Mass comes to 10. Like that's just gonna happen. How can a shaper deck have trouble with ice? Vader. Play a very limited card pool. Once they get a Hortum on the remote, we concede. This isn't a bluffable spot on casual. What do you mean, Krabs? How newbie friendly is Jinteki.net? Friend shipwreck, very, 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 very newbie friendly. It basically does a lot of things for you. It highlights the cards that are legal plays, which can be really nice. But most importantly, if you join the green level clearance Discord, you can say like new to JNet, or you just make a lobby on Jinteki.net and say like new to JNet, and someone will join you and have the patience to explain to you. But like all the things that you want to do here are big old buttons. The JNet is, you say JNet UI isn't newbie friendly, but the players will be. I think it's super newbie friendly, but the players, exactly like Warwick says, is kind of the big deal here. What happened to every Shaper deck always running degenerate amounts of Pelongi? It's hard right now. A lot of people are playing Virus Hate, but maybe you don't need Pelongi if you have Mayfly with Botulus. Okay, so this I just don't want to do this, y'all. I have no interest in playing this. How many contaminants have we thrown out? 1. Oh, you need to understand how to do runs. Yeah, it's not going to be like MTG online. It's going to like tell you what to do. Like you're still going to have to understand the timing technically. But yeah. Just face check a Hortum so we can get out of here. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a mouseless. We got legs. Let's go. Okay. So we'll break it. Oh, it's working. Nice. Mass comms. Okay, great. Bamboozled. Yeah, now this is a Hortum we can't win. What did we lose? We lost an overclock. That's okay. We installed this like a real chump. At least we want to run HQ here. Oh, this can put advancement on the card in server 3, which is bad, right? Yeah. If we hit a government takeover, we can win. But they have mass comms, so they can hit us with a punitive. It's another Rocket. Probably should have gone in one more time. Verify the Hortum on both R&D and the remote. Oh, Jesus. Mass comms, yeah. Okay. Get a Mayfly. Host a Mayfly. Can't host a Mayfly. Damn it. I'm just going to manually host this. I spelled that wrong. That's okay. No judgment zone. Yeah. The UI covers the Mayfly. So you can't select it. Oh, thanks. Don't believe in the Bond boldness. There's no way it wasn't Hortum. Yeah, it's like very likely for it to be Hortum, but again, they're gonna triple. I just don't understand why they're triple advancing all their ice, but it's working out for them. It's just like such a slow play. We'll just run server 3. If it's a Hortum, we lose. Oh, okay, sick. Oh, we don't even have that much money. That's not like it's gonna matter. So these subroutines, Corp gains 3. We don't want them to happen. This is just gonna be a grind of a game. And we don't have that much resources to ungrind. RPC is a card. Yeah, RPC is a card. Oh, Political Operative would have been really good if we had that when we ran HQ, because then we don't have to deal with any of this shit. Okay. So you can always SMC for Conduit, Contaminate, and try to win. 2 advancements. SDS drone deployment isn't a big problem. It's a clearinghouse. Oh boy. We just need to run HQ. It's going to cost us 5 credits, and then we don't have a click to get the Paul up down. Okay. We're going to install the flameout? Yeah. But the thing is, like, if that was an agenda... Oh, wow, they just tempoed it. They hit the Paul up, too. Wow. What did I say? Did I say something bad? Yeah, they just sniped the Paul up, too, so, like, we're in a really bad spot. But if that was an agenda, we would have just, we just ran. Oh, wait, we didn't have enough click lefts. I didn't plan it out. Yeah, now we're done. We're so done. That's a cool card to keep. They don't have money. I think we just Mayfly run this, right? Back to Burb talk. Gotta go for the Conduit. Yeah, we really do have to go to the Conduit win. The problem is, like, we don't have enough money. It's, like, really hard for us to break mouseless. At least we can let one of the subroutines fire, but this is a really taxing piece of ice now. Like this is the same amount of break as an Anansi. And you can't do multiple flameouts. You just said shit. I wanted to keep the meme live. Okay. So like we can compile this. If we hit an SDS, it's not a big deal because the Mayfly dies at the end of the run. So if the SDS connects, it's fine. It could be another clearinghouse. Thinking chance of NGO is pretty high because they've had a bunch of them. Man, just having a deck with real breakers would feel so good right now. Like, just putting a botchless on here is such a big difference. Oh my god. So what do we do? Do we actually just compile for a breaker? I guess it's better just to use Kabonesa. No, we probably want to do compile. We're gonna be at 3 cards in hand. We're worried about losing the Contaminate if you run the remote now. Yeah, but we can't play around that. We have 1 more Contaminate. Like, I don't know what else to do. We'll do from heap. Click credit. Post. All right. Oh, I don't want to do this. Yeah, it's pretty high. The thing is that they're probably just gonna like do government takeover and a hostile. So like anything that they jam in their mode probably doesn't matter. And it's like it's so well teched against us. This is like a deck that can jam every turn, and I guess like PD can do that too. But at least they're threats that we don't run, we have to run. All right, let's just try and win off of R&D. It's so expensive though. Like we get 1 run where we see 3 cards. It was there the whole time. All right, so that means they're probably on punitive or something. That's a surprising agenda to see. I used to play this in psychographics like Weyland decks back in the day. We have this in hand, so that's a thing. We always know when we have to run, and we'll just like play control. But now at this point, they just mass comms Biotic Labor into government takeover, and we can lose on the spot. Direction Flame out with cred still and feels bad. I know, but it's really hard to use 2 credits. It's like very, very hard unless you pop SMC. I'm gonna guess Asset. It's a Cerebral Overrider. My lord, what is going on? At this point, like, this is the counter to this sort of deck is to run Centrals, but the fact that we can't run through Arquette. Like here, we would just pay consistently 4 credits to run HQ to get a single access, because they're playing so many things in remote that are like can be really scary that you don't want to be running the remote. It's way better to run Central servers. The problem is like we just can't afford it. Okay, we're still built up. There might also be on snare too. Oh, gain 16. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, they know that we're trying to contaminate out now. So that's probably urban renewal. And the problem is like if we sit back and do nothing, the mass comes on. Yeah, there's an urban renewal, so it'll really hurt us. Got to run now before they advance the Hortum. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, that was our window, but like, what do you do? Wait, is it actually still just 5 to run our HQ? It's not worse than Paperclip, is it? No, it's the same. This list is icky. Yeah, this is just gonna be really bad for us. This is actually destroying 2 cards, which might be a mistake. Drudge work. Yay. Can probably hit conduit anytime here. I don't know. If it's a Hortum, we lose. I think if it's a Hortum, we do concede, though. We have a legwork. We probably should have trashed that drudge work. Actually, can you trash that? Pretty good line would be top right concede, but no, I think you're right. I'm just going to see how much longer we can do that. Please. If you ask them, you don't actually have to pay, which is really nice because it gets around that window. There's a chance that you VRcation here. This deck does want to grind us out. Yeah, this is bad. Maybe we run R&D and hit government takeover and something else. So next turn we take 4 meat damage. So if we run, it's gonna be a problem. So not much to do there. Drawing is a bit icky because we have to slap install anything that we draw. Damn, we drew our legwork right now. That's such a bummer. I think this is the most important. Installing the conduit is pretty important. This game's giving me hives. Oof. This does 4 damage. If we don't run, I don't think they can do damage to us. If we run here, like, do you just install the conduit? I don't want to show them the conduit. And the conduit's technically cheaper from archives. Yeah, okay. We'll give that one shot. The problem is we're going to lose the contaminate. Wow, we kept the 1 card. It's actually a good card to keep. I consider doing this click 1. And like at any moment, they can government take over the win. I'm going to do this first click. 2 clicks to draw 4 seems fine. Yeah, there you go. That was a really good card to keep, technically. Okay, we'll try and pop up this turn. What do you got? SCS drone deployment? That is a problem. Because now we can't trash that to install. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. Ooh. When they undo click, we're going to install our thing when this gets trashed. Huh. Huh. Yeah, we need to do it. Okay. So we're going to trash this and then we'll react to it. So then we can install our conduit for 1. So it just made us powerful until we hit Hortum and then we can seed on the spot. We don't have a legwork. We have no pressure cards. It's just the conduit or bust. So we'll contaminate. Do we have more Mayflies? 1, 2, 3. No, we don't. Well, that's the problem. If we compile, we can't actually see extra cards with conduit. How bad is that? Wait, what do we do here? Oh, we should have installed the Mayfly. Oh, I should have installed the Mayfly too. Yeah, we should have popped both. Beans. Yeah, beans. Yeah, we need to use both simul chips. Because I thought there was a Mayfly in the deck that we could just pull out, but we can't. Yeah. If you compile, then you can woo back the Mayfly. Yeah, but we lose a click. You're right. We just have to compile like HQ for a Mayfly. And we can probably just let that fire. So I think we're just gonna have to swallow our pride and do that. Any programs left in your deck? Oh, you're right. That's actually cheaper. It would be cheaper to pull out a SMC from our deck. Yeah, we should have done the SMC. How does the community think about the fact that cards do not stack on the board in JNet now? I honestly don't know. Yeah, we should have wooed out. So we'll do from their heap. We'll install a Mayfly. Yeah, this is really, really bad. We'll let this fire. Your line woos any program cycled, I think. Yeah. No, our opponent did not let us take that back. So we'll see 3 cards on RD until we hit a Hortum and then it's GG. So now that's been shuffled back in our deck, so we can do that to install a Mayfly, which we will correct. And then we have to run with this. And once we hit a Hortum, we concede. Oh, fantastic. They actually have, I don't want to give them 3 credits because then they could red plan Curry's out, but they win on hostile anyways, so I feel like giving them money might be right. The thing is, like, if we steal an agenda here, we'd probably die to punitive anyways. So I don't think the game's going to be that much longer. We have a lot of money, maybe not. Spin Doctor, okay. And okay. Scape Net, wow, that's hateful. They have all the tech. Oh, they have all the tech. GG. Better pop that simul chip. Yeah, you're right. But then we don't put it on anything. I think we just GG there. They probably hostile out. I don't know. The Taki, how's it going? There's a stack on stack button. Is there actually? Oh, sick. Oh man, that's such a bad matchup. Excuse me. Do you want to play it out or concede? Nah, I think I'll concede. I've never had an opponent ask me to concede. Hey, thanks, you too. Oh man, we didn't even see a single triple advance Hortum, and like obviously I probably played that awfully, but oh my god, I don't think we had a chance there. The fact that they could just jam something every turn that would like matter that wasn't an agenda is a really big problem for this deck. Like all of these cards besides this technically matter for the list. I think they interpreted GG. Yeah, no, I know. I don't think that was like a faux pas on their part. Aggressive GG. But like, I don't know. I don't know what you do about that. I think maybe that you go earlier and just hope it isn't Hortum, because if it is a Hortum, you lose, and then build this. But then they purge, and then you wait a couple turns and contaminate and go in again. And then maybe you just ignore the remote. But this is a deck that's really hard to run the remote. I feel like maybe running HQ with you not having the pull up in hand is wrong, but like having the pull up in hand or running HQ is also like a 20% chance blowout against Builder Nations. Yeah, this is really rough. Slinging a single Dakota is probably okay. Yeah, putting a single breaker is okay. I think it's probably fine. Because if we had a breaker, like, we can still deal with this. Like, Mayfly is good and all, but having a breaker is fine. You could technically still put on Flame Out. You could still play an Oiler. I don't know. I think you want to go much earlier. Yeah, I think we waited too long, and then they built all this stuff up in Masscom and stuff. Like, generally, if they're triple advancing ice, that's really, really slow for them. But Masscom don't care. Man, advanceable ice really just tilts me. Advanceable ice tilts me really bad. A single Angola would have been great. Yeah, Angola would have been good. We didn't have MU issues, really. Actually, no, technically we do with Mayfly and something else. Like the old Tag Me God of War deck still ran one Black Orchestra for Hortum in particular. Yeah, and that's the thing is like this deck seems to be particularly like very, very targeted towards PD. Why this is good versus PD. So I don't know if anybody mentions like, hey, Hortum. No, doesn't come up. Swordsman, yeah, nobody plays Swordsman though. I think you'll see Hortum in every Weyland list, and you'll see Swordsman in some Jinteki lists. Once you saw the mouse, you had to go aggro before they could Hortum. Yeah, that's also true. Like the window to Hortum, which I'm surprised that they didn't hit, was like such a big window that we let that happen. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's also a very tricky deck to play. I like this. Cape Net clears the turning wheel too. But Slashkin, how's it going? The thing is, like, I don't know if turning wheel's good in the meta right now. And the biggest thing about turning wheel is like, what are you going to bounce off of? Like, they have good ice. Like most decks pay 6 credits to get through a mouse list, so you can't bounce off of a turning wheel. You can't bounce off. You could technically bounce off the Aket for a turning wheel, but that could be like a problem. I don't know. Like Scape Net's definitely good against turning wheel, and that's probably more likely why people play it. But I just don't know if as turning wheel is a card you have to play around right now. Like who's playing turning wheel besides like regular criminal, right? And who's I don't see those, but they probably are competitive. I don't know. Advanceable Ice really tilts me and plays a build to last deck. Solo Mirror, that's a perfect transition. Let's build a build to last deck. Oh, my build to last deck was on the Nisei server, so I don't have it here. Okay, let's build it. Escape is also good for rig shooter to trash the simul chips. Yeah, no, I think the simul chips is quite nice. And in that matchup, they trash our simul chips. It destroys the amount of runs we can do. It's huge. But it's like, I don't know. First slot seems hard. I'm starting to like Turning Wheel and Tau. I think Tau is a really good reason to play Turning Wheel. I haven't played enough Tau. My god, Tau seems really cool. I don't think I have the mental... Again, I'm not all there today, I think, to play Tau. Tau seems really tricky and really fun. So think about something simple. We're just going to advance every card once and try and win off of that. Weyland built to last. I dare you to keep yourself to 40 cards like June suggests instead of 44. Did June suggest 40 cards? Okay, so that's actually a good point. So why do people play 44 cards instead of 40 cards? 40 cards is the minimum deck size. All the deck sizes you see in System Gateway, the minimum is 40. So you can play 40 cards. Now as a corp, if you're playing 40 cards to 44 cards, you have to play 18 to 19 agenda points. And what people generally do is they say, okay, well, the most cards I can play in a deck while still retaining that same 18 to 19 agenda points is 44 cards. Because at 44 cards, the one in whatever cards an agenda is, it's smaller, right? Right? That's the idea. So instead of agendas being like 8 and 44 or 8 and 40, they're 8 and 44. So not only does that mean it's less likely for the runner to hit them, but also it means it's less likely for you to find them. Now I want to see where June said that, because I don't know what that means, but June just said that like that's how you should build decks. But there were some decks, there were some competitive decks, and they were really weird, and kind of they were called out for that specifically, were the decks that they did play, specifically 45 cards or 40 cards. And they were saying like, I'm a rush deck, I want to find my agendas as soon as possible. And I think there's some legitimate arguments for that reason. The bigger issue for me though is like, I have a problem cutting cards. Like I'm a 46 runner card, 46 deck, not even a 40 decks, I don't know. I'm not sold that Corp should be a 40. Yeah, I'm not entirely sold on it. And Arnstein's pointing out a good point is like with Spin and Sprint, so Spin Doctor and Sprint in the format, and even Planogram if you want to really play it. Like it's really easy for you to find your agendas and then kind of easy for you to bury them. So there's a chance that you do want to play fewer cards, but I don't fully know. Fun fact is your corp deck size gets bigger, you actually lower agenda density. Also, there's something to be said for rush decks, just play 40 cards and that little margin more consistent. The thing is like, what do you need the consistency for? Like, you can play things like digital rights management and stuff like that to help you? I don't know. Not exactly but that is what I understood. Yeah, I'm not sure if like June, I want to see where that's from. Like, I don't know if June is advocating for that or just saying like, that's legally what you can do. There were some regionals in Montreal that were won by like 54 card decks back in the day, and like that's fine. It's probably not a huge loss. It technically makes you agenda less dense, especially if you play 5/3s at that point, because then it gets like really goofy. Not more consistent with finding agendas, but with finding combo pieces like Coco. Yeah, you're right. It's also more consistent for finding combo pieces. If you just have fewer cards in your deck is faster. Anyways, let's see what we want to do here. You can always jam agendas you find for tempo. Tried a series in the past meta, but it does make games 50 minutes. I feel like the games already are 50 minutes in standard. But I feel like that sort of like jam strategy is okay. So like what I want to say right off the bat is I feel like Built to Last is a really bad point right now, because they are a jam remote sort of play, very similar to what you see in precision design decks, except I would argue that their ice is a lot worse. The big issue with Built to Last is that putting a single advancement on a piece of ice does nothing to the ice, barring like 2 specific ice that don't see any play. So the single advancement does nothing. So the question is, do you continue to advance all your ice to 3 advancements? I'd hope not, because that is really slow and bad. But yeah, other than mass commercialization, there's no reason to single advance ice. So last time I played this, I double advanced ice a lot of times. I'd pay that extra advancement, so I'd have access to Trickle Light and stuff like that, which is really cool. But single advancing ice is kind of rubbish. Now, single advancing agendas or NGO fronts or any other assets you want to advance, that's good. You actually make more, you make your money back. It's like clicking for credits, really, really strong. That's quite good. But the big issue that I'm thinking about this sort of decks is that if I install advance and then put something into a remote server, it is going to be so blown out by the meta that is running things like Boomerang, Botulus, Mayfly. Like if those are popular, oh my god, is that sort of strategy set up to fail? And you saw it a bit different in the last matchup that we just played that could be running a Built to Last deck, and maybe they have a bit more money. The Weyland damage didn't matter too much. I think we lost 4 or 5 cards. Maybe that is actually a pretty big deal. But maybe if you have a lot of things to jam in a remote that aren't agendas, that's technically a better way to get money off Built to Last anyways. Built to Last telegraph scoring windows by a single advance. That's also a big problem with Built to Last is, well, in theory, you don't have to do that advance that turn. Like you could still play Seamless Launch, but it feels like you're playing the HB game plan a lot worse and spending a lot more influence on it. But yeah, single advancement is like such a big deal. I think you just don't advance ice. I think you advance ice if you have nothing else to do. And I think you advance ice if you're playing mass comms or Trickle Light, but I don't think you want to advance ice. Wall to wall helps with shoring up advancements. It does. But wall to wall also is a nombo with your ability. So like you have to wall to wall. But the thing is, like if you have wall to wall in your remote, you're not jamming, right? Like wall to wall is the opposite. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Maybe we just play money and then play kill. Like we play hard hitting news or paper trail fork or whatever. Advance the Hortum. Yeah, advancing the Hortum is the only one I consider advancing. Yeah, wall to wall is just too slow. I totally agree with it. Wall to wall seems incredibly too slow. 3 wall to wall triggers equals 1 Rashida. Yeah, but the advancements technically are a bit nicer, but also again, it just seems pretty slow. And standard mass comm is amazing, and standard mass comm is frustrating for me. All right, so I'm gonna hit the collection. We're gonna do standard, and let's see where we go from here. What I want to play is I want to play something kind of jammy that can fast advance out, and I want to use Trick of Light. I want to use Audacity. In theory, now in faction we have 4 3-2s, which is quite nice. Not that you want to score an Atlas with no advancements on it, but that's kind of what we want to do. Built the last is Argus again secretly. So I think that's what we want to do. I don't know what else flashy to do right now. Sandstone City Grid built the last is fun. That's interesting. It's actually quite cool. The thing about Sandstone City Grid too, though, is like people talk about Sandstone City Grid in Earth Station, and isn't a lot of the time, isn't it just better to have what's it called, La Costa? Because like La Costa, obviously you have to protect the server at that point. But La Costa to me like works way better with the Weyland card pool, because you start getting like 4-2 atlases. Well, scoring a 3-2 atlas doesn't seem amazing. I don't know. You can't protect the SSCG. You probably can't res that SSCG. Above the Law is a nice agenda. Yeah, Above the Law you play up in every Weyland deck, I'm pretty sure. Acosta Ticker Light Synergy, that's also another good point. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like La Costa just seems like a better card. Or maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I don't have big confidence in this deck, mind you. So let's see what we can do here. So if we're going to play a very aggressive agenda suite, we'll play an Above the Law. We'll play Atli. Okay, so that gets us to 8 agenda points. We only have to get 10 more agendas. So in terms of 4-2s, the Weyland one is Oaktown Renovation, which is like kind of it's really good on tempo. You advance this, you gain 3 credits, right? Sort of. 4 credits, sort of. So yeah, 3 credits. So that's really good for the first advancement. The problem is they know it's an agenda, and then they can like run to your remote, which is bad. There's nothing else that really works really well unless we wanted to do something like neutral and play false lead. We want to do like, you know, something gross with tags. Like that's a possibility. The fact that we can fast advances is nice. It's also worth noting that like Built to Last gets more value scoring 3-1 agendas. Like 3-1 agendas are not very good in the game for a lot of reasons, unless their abilities are very, very strong. But at least if we score a lot of agendas, it's cheaper in Built to Last. I don't know if this is good. 3-1 in a 44 card deck is rough. It really is rough. So then the other things that we could play is all the neutral 4-2s. Sandbox is fantastic. Not an easy card to fast advance, but we could build some combos to get that to happen. And then we have Food, which is just a good card, and we don't want to score it, but it just lowers our agenda density. So now the Corp needs to score. Oh, we don't have Hostiles in here. Do we put Hostiles in here? Vulnerability Audit is just like way too big of a threat. Like the idea is that we win off scoring all our 4-2s and 3-2s, and then we never have to score a 4-3. And we can't fast advance a 4-3 anyways, so it doesn't look well with our plan. Weyland could go for Rig Shooter and System Gateway. It's not bad. I think Rig Shooter is like, it's not the worst, but with like Botulus in Gateway, yeah. Outside of Gateway it gets a lot worse. You always want Hostile. Hostiles are amazing. Hostiles are really good. They are really good. But this is a very few agendas. That's a really slim agenda suite. Talk about value and Built to Last. Yeah, Hostiles and Built to Last are incredible. And that's the idea. Small agendas seem really good. Maybe we can put in 2 Hostiles and cut a Sandbox. I don't think that's the worst. Maybe that's fine. Because again, when you score this, it's a lot of money. Install Advance, gain 2 credits. Advance, gain 7 credits. It seems nice. I'll try that. Okay, so we want to run Ice, and Ice is so tricky with this list because you need your Ice to be good. And it needs to be advanceable, and it needs to be good with advancements, and there's nothing like that. No punitive? No, definitely not punitive if we're not running only 5-3s. So like advanceable Ice that's good with single advancement, oh man, that's such a rough space. There's like almost nothing that falls into that, right? Like what do we want to play? Like what are we excited to play? We're going to be too fast for Surveyor, let alone Fear Tau. Sandstone is definitely playable. Hardying News, I don't even know if we're going to go Tag Punishment. We probably do go Hardying News at some point. Colossus is like the only one, and even that, Colossus is not good for Rush. It doesn't end the run. Run Argosites. What is Argosites? Like, are you running Funhouse? Are you running Ping? I'd like to run Ping, honestly, if we had Tag Punishment. Pharos is not great for Rush. It's 7. That's so expensive. Advancing it does nothing. Rick Rage says Ice Wall. I don't even think we play Ice Wall. Like, I'd honestly, I think we play Palisade than Ice Wall. Maybe I'm nuts. I don't know. A Dudewa is way too slow. Or run Anson's Rose to put the rest of the tokens on it. Anson Rose is like quintessentially also way too slow. You need to put it in the remote. It needs to brew for turns, and then it's in your remote, so you can't score agendas in that remote if you need to. It's really, really rough. So Mouseless is good. It's just a good ice for central. It's not very good for a scoring remote until you triple advance it, which I don't know if we will. Miss Fingo is good. Miss Fingo is better than Ice Wall. If you get an advancement on it, has 2 subroutines, good enough. Ice Wall, I don't know. Hortum is good. You play Hortum. Firewall, I ended up playing when we played this list against Pat, and I liked Firewall because a 6 strength barrier in the early game is kind of a big deal for Paperclip to deal with. The problem is like Botchels and Boomerang deal with this really, really well. Masfingo can dodge Botchels, Boomerang, yeah, it can, but you need to advance it at least like once or twice. But this is honestly like a card I kind of liked in the list because it's actually kind of taxing to break unless they play, you know, some of the big scary cards. You can run Border Control, Hortum, Archer, Ballista, maybe Funhouse, Ping. Man, Archer seems really rough in the meta with Botulus. Firewall isn't bad, but it looks bad against Bran. Against Bran, no. Bran's like too influencing and click through Bran. This is fine. They can't click through it. Blowouts depend on runner mistakes as a rush deck. Wait, what's talking about blowouts? Enigma's playable. What else is like, what else? You play Border Control. Probably 3, I don't know. NGO and Rashida, you definitely play NGO because it's really good. Because you advance it and that's nice. You'd probably play Afshar. Afshar is a strong card. It's good for HQ. Notice how we have no sentries. No big scary ice, just efficient ETR. Yeah, that's if we're playing a rush deck, we don't want big scary blowouts. Maybe you can run a single Trebuchet because not only is it a blowout, but it actually is like quite good. Its abilities are both relevant and it's kind of hard to deal with. 1x Archer, I think, yeah, 1x Archer is probably fine. If you res it for a blowout, you win. If not, it doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know, maybe. But that's kind of the issue here. Is like, this is the problem. Okay, I feel like I'm talking too fast. One of the big issues right now that happened with rotation, and if you talk about that Argus deck, there's no sentries in it anymore. Those Argus decks ran, what? Data Raven. Data Raven doesn't exist, let alone isn't a sentry anymore if you do want to play it. I feel like there's no Weyland sentries that are relevant. Winchester is not good. Like, it's never going to do anything guaranteed. It only ends the run on HQ. Trash hardware doesn't matter. Trash a program, it doesn't end the run. Like, it's not great. Clearinghouse is like fun if we do dedication and that sort of combo, which I think we do dedication. But I think we do that because we play the other fast advance piece. So I think we play Rococo as well. But we're not going to like brew a clearinghouse. It takes way too long. My Argus list is 2S Archer is the only sentries. Yeah, that's such a problem. Like, Weyland just doesn't have a good sentry that you want to play in this sort of decks that play. Ballista sits in a similar spot to Trebuchet. Ballista does, but oh my god. Maybe I just played it too much in Gateway and people put a botch list on Ballista and it felt terrible. I feel like paying 5-10 to run also just feels terrible. Tithonium seems nice to have with all this stuff that I want to be host on nice. I'd rather have that than Archer, I think. Yeah, actually, Tithonium seems kind of nice. I do like Tithonium. Sometimes you res Tithonium for free, which is like a huge surprise. But I think we just need a sentry. Survey is relevant if you can play slow, but yeah, you can't play slow. Exactly, Paul. We could have reverse accounts. We want to fast events out, though. Like, we don't want to... Like, we can maybe have a bit of influence for a fork, but I feel like we're just going to fast events out. I don't think we want to do, like, multi-card combos, like dedication, reversed, hard-hitting news, consulting. Like, we don't have all that. Ballista's consistently underwhelmed for me. Yeah, I'll try it. Doesn't Firewall end the run for 5? Yeah, but you feel good because that's the only thing it does. Ballista should be scarier. And you can advance. No, I don't know. But Ballista, like, a lot of times you hit it and be like, I can't choose the trash program because then you get it and that feels terrible. Oh, man. Full confidence and Geo, Rashida. We're like, the thing is, like, we're already at 41 cards. Like, how are we don't even have a good deck. How are we meant to play 40? Tithe? No, Tithe doesn't do anything. Why is Trickle Light not Seamless Launch? Because Trickle Light's fast advance. Seamless Launch isn't fast advance. Yeah, guard rotated. Yeah, guard is out. 7 influence left and non-C. No, we don't get fast. Like, honestly, if we have 7 influence left, like, you consider playing silly sting like Hagen and like having better ice, Gatekeeper. I don't know. No remote BTL, easy. Yeah, right? Like we use our remote. That's the problem. We're not using our remote. I guess we do. We still do jam. We probably could play 2 seamless. NBN has no sentries. No, NBN plays F2P. NBN plays Turnpike. I think NBN has some sentries. NBN will consider playing Hydra. Is Snare still in? Yeah, Snare's still in. It just has nothing to do with their game plan. Magnet, I don't think is worth influence. I'd rather play literally anything else. Oh, Spin and Sprint. Yeah, we probably should just play Spin. I've been listening to the process and they think that Sprint is not very good and they like Spin Doctor a lot better. I think Sprint is like kind of really good. I miss Go. 15 ice is probably too much for a 44 card deck. Yeah, I think we do have too much ice. Yeah, we have too many of these. How much ice do you want for a 44 card deck? 13 seems about right? What is our game plan? Our game plan is to aggressively jam behind ice. And then every once in a while, fast events out, the reconstruction contract, dedication ceremony, and trickle light. That's the idea. Seems a bit troubled. Tier. But then like we want some mass comms, I think. We probably can just play Biotic or Seamless. We probably just end up playing Seamless because that's good enough. It'll give you clicks. Yeah. When they botulus it. Do you want something like Skunkworks? Skunkworks is okay. I feel like we have that much influence though. Like we'd rather just play Anoetic. Spin allows you Audacity. Oh fuck, we forgot Audacity. Oh excuse me, I swore. Yeah. Spin is way better with Audacity. I think you're that's a good point. It's also something to put in the remote server, which is a strength of our deck. Yeah, we definitely want Audacity. Yeah, no Audacity in this list yet, and we're at 47, right? Like how do we? I just don't know how to cut. I don't know how to cut decks. Jogging, how's it going? Didn't quite get that. Spin Doctor isn't good, but Sprint is. No, sorry. So on the podcast, they were saying their opinion was that Spin Doctor is amazing, which it is, but they didn't like Sprint as much as Spin Doctor. And I would argue that Sprint, in terms of like carving your hand for a single click, is very, very good, but Spin Doctor is very, very flexible and has a lot of other options with recursion. Too many Rococo? Yeah, that's probably right. We can probably go 2. The dedications, though, are useless. We probably cut that down to 2, and then our combo becomes really inconsistent. But maybe with 2 is just enough. And cut a card. Do both? Yeah, we could actually add a sprint. What is this draw like? Okay, that's our opening hand. We probably would keep that. Oh, thanks for cleaning that up. No, of course. This is our opening hand. We could Ice HQ, Hedge Fund, advance it. Next turn, score at Hostile. Then we could do after Rashida. Wait, not Sprint, DBS? Sorry, sets? I don't know. This doesn't look like it has a strong game plan. I think we cut the Dedi Rococo stuff entirely. I feel like if we cut that, we need to have a better plan for scoring in a remote server. Because this is our like unfair way to score from hand. And if we lose it, we lose a lot. And Dedi Rococo goes pretty far. Like you install the Rococo, it's good. It works with most of our agenda suite. We do have Audacity. Like, what do we do to make our remote play better? Because that's the problem, is we don't have strong remote play. You trigger light Audacity. Yeah, sure, but Audacity is like not super consistent. We don't have red level clearance. Okay. Void. It's a lot of influence. Void. 4. I feel like if we just make our remote stronger, so it's hard for them to run it consistently. Well, that's an easy way to do it. I guess. Would HP Advanced still sell Biotic Labor? Yeah, I was considering Biotic Labor, but we don't have the influence right now. The ideal is that Trickle Light is our value Biotic Labor. Turns our ability back on. What is just like one thing we can do? Skunkworks? Skunkworks is like 3 influence? 2 influence? 3. +1 spin? Yeah, +1 spin can't be wrong, right? And then what do we do? Yeah, I just add another mass comms? Or like, what's an aggressive Weyland setup card? Are there any upgrades we care about? I would love to have another win condition, like, but then at that point we'd need to pivot to hard hitting news and play like an Argus-esque list, which I don't think I would mind. This tag is torn between HBNA and Titan FA. Yeah, I know, Chris. It's like right in the middle between like fast advance and like never advance, and maybe we can get away with both. Maybe that's our like split win con. 1 priority construction. Oh. Yeah, okay. How many targets do we have, though? Misfingo's not amazing. Sandstone doesn't work. Afshar Hortum. No, I don't think it works. We could tune our deck to make these work, though. It's a very aggressive card. But I just don't think we have that sweet. Snare? We don't have the influence. What does the Never Advanced deck do? So the idea, Potato, is that we want to put a card into a remote server and not put advancements on it. So the idea is for our opponent is our opponent can't tell. Is that an agenda? Is that an Urshida? Is that a spin doctor we have in res? And that's the idea, is that every turn there's something in the remote. And sometimes it's an agenda, sometimes it's not. It's called Never Advance because it's not like other decks where they do install advance or install advance. And as soon as a card is advanced, the chance of being an agenda is considerably higher. Seamless and go 3 sprint. I like the Seamless a lot, though. Seamless is really good. It means that we don't have to single advance our Cyberdeck sandboxes. And we can actually score foods and stuff. Okay, I'm going to play this rubbish. We just need to get one more card in it, and then we can call it a day. I think I'm just going to play a... Was Veritas a card? Cool, let's go. This doesn't seem great. Why is not Lacoste instead of Seamless? We talked about putting Lacoste in the deck before. And Lacoste is 3 influence, I think. Like, we could figure it out to get Lacostes in there. And I like the Lacoste a lot. It works with the Seamless launch a bit better too. But let's try this. Let's just try this. But I'm not convinced. I don't have a strong idea what direction we're going into. So I'm hoping that we'll play this and find out. I also don't think this is really good for the meta right now, for what it's worth. It's just like rushing behind non-taxing advanceable ice doesn't seem right. Subsidy, yeah, government with tax subsidy we could. I just don't know how often we're gonna have that good credits. False flag to fake an agenda. It's just like, so that's the issue with all these sort of cards like false flag, reversed accounts. Like on their own, they need the support for them to be playable, right? Like I wouldn't play false flag in a deck that doesn't have any ways to interact with agendas, right? Sorry, with tags. Let alone for false flag, you have to put a lot of advancements on that thing. Like then you'd also want to play things like clearinghouse to make it a threat. Like, oh, that could be a clearinghouse, but then they run into false flag, stuff like that. Like, you know, some reasons. But the last ones to be built is always advanced. Yes and no. Like you'll still get your credit if you score the agenda out. It's not once per turn. It's once per first time per card. So I don't think you need to. All right, we got safety first. We got neutralize all threats and find the truth. So a single logic bomb gets to the remote relatively easily. I think we just want to put the mouseless on HQ, border control Rashida, keep this. Hey. Albeit, how's it going? Subliminal messaging is like really hard to play, I think, as a whole. We're not going to be icing up all their centrals really well, so it's not going to be hard for... The runner's going to be able to kind of easily run. Like, we're not a Glacier deck that's going to keep them out of all servers. So it's not a particularly compelling include, I don't think. Oh, cheers. That seems like a good mulligan. Okay, food. Yeah, they might get that on HQ, but at least we don't want to score that. So the problem here is like they see 2 from HQ with neutralize all threats, so the chance of them stealing the early food is really high. Also, R&D is going to be open, and then they can see the top of R&D, and then if they have something like a what's it called? Well, I don't know, what's that neutral card called? They can get money. So this deck is vegan. Is that also a meta call? No, it's not a meta call. It probably shouldn't be vegan. It's just to kind of test it. I think the meta, like, we're seeing a lot of decks that are kind of weak to damage. I guess. Sort of. I don't even know what the meta is. Oh, wow. Red team. Fantastic. So, 3 credits. We can't stop that from happening. That's a really good reason why to run archives. This is really nice. RNG key. Yeah, thank you, Chris. So they have to trash if they access a card with trash cost. So they're trashing the NGO front. They could go back and see a new card, but they can't do it with red team. Red team requires you to run a different central server you haven't run. So it looks like our Rashida might just go off here. Oh. Yeah, we'll res it here. They're going to end with a tag. This is really bad for them because we can actually pop the Rashida, get money, and then start trashing their currents, their directives. That's really, really bad for them. I don't think you want to run last click into Weyland. The blowout here is if they hit the food. They got it, and they hit Audacity. Okay, so we kept the NGO front, actually. That's not the worst. They just drew a multi-threader. So we're going to have the money by resing the Rashida. We got a credit off of this. And now they're tagged. We can just start wiping all their directives. Oh, wow. And we have a hedge fund too, which is nice. So we'll do that. We'll trash Find the Truth. And then we'll trash Neutralize. So the HQ pressure just got mitigated and their R&D access. Yeah, I don't know directives. It's awful. That feels really bad. In terms of taggable ice there, like we had what, 5 credits, so it could only be mouseless. That's a real big blowout, like a blowout. Hortum would be fine, Afshar would be fine. We couldn't res Ferros, so it's a bit of a risk. Vegan built the last seems rough with everyone teching for PD. Yeah, I think we just want to put some tag and do it like an Argus-esque fork, and I think we'd be in an okay spot. But let's see how bad this is. They remove the tag. There's a brain chip. That's really good for them to steal the early food. You want the early brain chip as soon as possible. Make sure that your card draw goes off. And we not see what they draw. So we could slow down and put Mass Fingal in R&D. We know they have a multi-threader in hand. We could do that and then install advance this. I think that's pretty fair. I don't want to get them free accesses and gain 3 credits. They can run archives if they want. This is really nice because this threatens them to pull out a logic bomb or do some cool trick, and we got our money off the NGO front. How viable would a public agenda sweep be? Deady with Rococo and then single advancing Oaktown or Cityworks as the game plan. It might just be aggressively wanting to be like the new Weyland ID. Well, the problem is if you dedication ceremony. Okay, so the public agenda suite got a lot worse because Hollywood renovation rotated, and that means you can't build a full agenda suite out of publics. And that was kind of the idea of playing SSO. SSO right now is really sad to play because you just don't have enough face-up agendas to build a really good textability. The problem with the face-up agenda suites is that they're literally face-up. So if people are playing things like Botulus, Mayfly, Boomerang, it's really easy for them to like pick and call it. The face-up agendas are cool, and I think by are cool, I think Cityworks, we played that like 2 weeks ago with Neurospike, and it's really strong. It's really fun. That's it. Fast advancing isn't bad because it's a different thing. Yeah, fast advancing looks really good right now. I don't think people are playing Clot. So emergent creativity is going to throw out that and bring down their Ngolo, which it's not amazing. Oh, they're running the border control. Do we res the border control? It forces them to spend up to 4 credits. Yeah, we'll do it. So they Guru and block the Cityworks. Yeah, that's fine. Nobody plays Guru. There's hot tech for that deck, but nobody plays it. So whatever. Okay. So giving them bad publicity would be bad. Oh, we got a Veritas. Honestly, kind of annoying against their breakers right now. We would actually want to consider triple advancing this. I think we're just going to go for the hostile, though. And we are in the situation where like a hard-hitting use would be actually quite nice. Like I think we can build a deck that has that sort of Argus-like fork and feel okay about it. And then just eventually play an Argus deck. Because we fired our ability twice so far. It gave us 4 credits, though. It's really good, I guess. 4 credits on turn 4? Doesn't feel bad. And another big thing about Ngolo is if there's an actual barrier here, they can't break it twice with the border control. So yeah, there you go. Do we audacity food? No, but I still think we slow roll it and hope we top deck a seamless launch. Man, advancing and getting money is good. You've been playing Guru? Oh man. It's like unplayable against Jateki because of Obakata unless you have Imp, because you have to take the damage. It doesn't do anything against NBN. Well, yeah, if you're tagged, yeah, it doesn't do much. Them running a single advanced NGO and the ID is 1 click for net, 6 credits. Dang, yeah, it's amazing. Oh, they're playing Smartware and they have a logic bomb, so we have to respect that. If we top deck, oh fuck, we top deck the sandbox. I'd so rather score that out. And they're really slowing down here, but the logic bomb means they can contest this sort of, kind of. Problem is like I want to double advance here. I think the best play instead of drawing was actually to install over this with an agenda and install a spin doctrine to new remote. That would be a better play than drawing, because then we can threaten to score this out next turn. We do install advance, and that'd be way better for us than scoring out the food. So now we have to commit to scoring out the food. We also could have considered double advancing that. Smartware outside a gateway. Yeah, I know. This card doesn't seem very impressive. Towards the Argus plan, the ID definitely makes you feel better about chaining agendas if you ever have a chance. Yeah, no, it really does. It really, really does. They're going to run HQ here. I think. Why did they change that interaction anyways? They used to be able to try to take the net damage, have it blocked, and lose Guru and run it again. I don't know if they changed anything, but it's just specifically in Obokata, it says to steal it, you have to suffer the damage. So if you prevent the damage, you don't steal it. This is really good, man. Jailbreak's a good card. Install Spin Advanced Audacity. Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah, that's honestly pretty good too. They hit the sandbox, we're in such a bad spot. We get a credit, just like advancing it. So here they draw a card, access 2. I wonder if they trash the spin doctor if they hit it. They guess 0, okay, Veritas, fantastic. And spin, okay, so they could trash the spin doctor, and they didn't get the money from RNG key because they accessed it in the incorrect order. All right, spin doctor's down, so the Audacity got a fair bit worse. But next turn we had that play that we could have Audacity'd out. Well, we could have, no, you can't, because if you score with Audacity. Ooh, Paul up! Ooh, good thing we didn't leave that thing on the table. We would not have played around Paul up, even though we talked about that earlier today. Score. All right, so we're on game point, and that's going to change how they play. Smartware is slow, but it's incredibly click value for money. It is not particularly, well, yes, over an infinite period of time, it's a very good click value for credits, but games are way too fast. You don't have enough clicks in the game. Like, if the meta is too fast for a potential caddy, which I think it would be right now, it's too fast for this. Over 6 turns is better than Liberated? No, it's not. Over 6 turns is not better than Liberated. What? Over 6 turns, you spend 3 clicks for 6 credits. 3 clicks for 6 credits is not amazing. What am I missing? Wait, no, you spent 3 clicks for 6. Yeah, that's not amazing. No, there's no way. So now they're going to access 2 cards again, so there's a big threat here. I like the HQ pressure they have. That's really nice. But if we jam into the remote, they have nothing going for them. Like, they can't contest the remote. Oh, they get 0. They got the NGO front. Isn't it 2 clicks for 6? No, because you have to install it too. Install click. Liberate is 5 clicks for 10. Yeah, but having more money is more important. Like, having the click efficiency is good, but the idea is that Liberator will let you get up to money and also Liberator will get you those clicks and that money quickly. Like, a lot of times, by the time this pays on 6 turns, the game is half over, if not over, right? Like, I think those are 2 big issues. Okay, now we do want to advance this. It's border control Veritas. Okay. We could still consider seamless launching it. This is probably good enough. Plus the click to install. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like 6 turns for it to give you 6 credits. That's way too slow. And 3 clicks as compared to things like Rozeki, compared to things like Keiko, compared to things like Paladin Puemo. Like, it just doesn't line up. But like, it doesn't have to be great. It's a neutral card. It costs 0. It's really flexible. And it's really good in System Gateway to teach you like about planning your turn and planning your next turns and understanding like tempo and stuff like that. But I don't know. In terms of click efficiency, credit efficiency for a click, yeah, okay, that's something, but it just pays off way too slow. Emerging creativity, that's half the turn already. Let's see what they're gonna get down. Probably a paperclip, right? Yeah, there you go. So actually it can contest the remote. This is not perfect for us. So we could res all of this. So we'll res the Veritas. This has a tag on it though. They might be scared of that. This is why never advancing would have been better. It probably is better to never advance that and just advance an ice. Because now they think it's an agenda. If we never advance, they could not worry about it because they have Paul up. So if they think it's Rashida, it's not a problem. It'd be neat if I started loaded once. Yeah, if it started loaded, it would be really good. We can still trade 2 border controls into this though and definitely get them. And if that's we'll do that because then we can win off a hostile, I guess, or a Tricholite. Your final gen is FA. The BCs are now expendable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna trade all of this. So game 2, lose 2, already a pretty big swing on a single card. Trace 2 though. They'll probably pay 2 for this. So this was a 6 credit swing, let alone we did res it. But Veritas is not the worst. It's just it's terrible on the scoring remote. All right, not taking the tag. All right, so we'll pop both border controls, and then we'll score this agenda out. And then we have 2 Audacity. It's not that you can use 2. And we have Trickleites in our deck. We'll be able to hopefully score out. But we'll definitely seamless launch this. Oh, my bad. All right, we're going to use the middle one. We're going to use the inside one because it's older. You want to keep your border controls fresh. Check the best before date on the bag. Imagine if it started loading instead of reloading, it would trash itself and you draw a card. You made 3 runs, you reinstalled itself from your heap, and it was. I see what you did there. Okay. It seems like a good card. All right, so we want to plan our turn. We're gonna do seamless, advance, and now score. So we have 1 more click. So at this point, we just don't want to lose on R&D. So we'll put a Mesfingo there. So we'll do seamless, advance, score, gain 4, R&D. And this cost them like what? 2 credits. This cost them 2 credits. So hopefully. For those who are newer to the game, Stoppable Force is describing a card called crowdfunding that got banned because it was too good. Maybe if ignored install cost. Oh, Verbal coming down way too late for this to be good. The second Logic Bomb though is something, but we have a lot of top decks here to win. Oh yeah, we have Archer in the list. And we don't want to fire that. So draw. Okay, Hortum is the thing. I think we want to draw once, hopefully no agenda. And then we'll just double advance so that we can trickle light if we need to. So we want to advance twice the same card. That actually costs us a credit. Maybe ignored. Yeah, ship it. I really liked playing crowdfunding though. It was good. Like it was fun. But like this card's not going to pay off. They're going to spend probably 3 credits to get 3 extra cards. Over 3 turns. Let's also make it virtual and CD. All right, second pull up. I like their pull up play. We'll draw once. Do we have Trickle Light? So we actually can do Trickle Light into Audacity. If we draw another agenda though here, it's a problem. We can put this into their mode. That'll probably draw us into the win. We're pretty far away from using an Archer. And Hortum is pretty taxing. I don't think we need 2 F-Stars. So we can see they can probably like pull up this. Am I crazy? I feel like I remember people sleeping on it for like 2 weeks and then every deck. I don't actually remember how it went. You can FA the sandbox? Yeah, well, we only have 1 sandbox, unfortunately. But we can FA the hostels to send out messages, the atlases, install, trickle light. Yeah, that's it. Can't FA food. They guess 0. They hit an Audacity. Damn, they're good. Gain 3 credits. This feels nice. They accessed. Why did they access 3 cards? Oh, because Jailbreak with Docklands right on. This is also quite a good card. That's a weird thing. Like maybe in the last deck that we played, because they can't run HQ a lot, I feel like that legwork could just be a Docklands pass. Right? I guess they're not running a lot, so you want the burst, but I don't know. I just feel like Jailbreak is so much more flexible. Oh, wow. Wow, they paid 5 to break that. I'm not going to end the run here. They can trash our sheet and go down to 1 credit if they really want. If they do that, we actually could consider putting a food in here if we need to. Absolutely pop? No, but they have pull up. Like, why do we pop it? They can just pull up it anyways. Yeah, there you go. Server 1. I'm going to do Trickle Light. Advance. Score. Sorry about the early tag. No, just top decked. Yeah, so they put on heavy HQ pressure because they needed to. So that was only like, that's the thing. It was like a 12 turn. So the Smartboard Distributor for them, I think, was 3 clicks to gain 3 credits. The Verbal Plasticity was 3 credits to gain 2 cards, I think. Like it just, these cards are so rough because they require you to have them in the early game. And if you don't, oh my God, their value falls off so hard. Yeah, that early tag also, like, I think if they kept their directives, we might have struggled there. Oh, oops. All right, so you see the fast event strat. I feel like we could put some hard-hitting news in here, and maybe we don't need Trickle Light, and then we don't have to do these awkward double advances. Well, let's give it another one. Corp. Because we don't, okay, like we don't have Titan anymore. So somebody needs to have the fast events Weyland list. Only problem is like it is legitimately hard to get 4 advancements on an Atlas outside of the Rococo combo. But if you do, oh my god, you're Titan, am I right? Manticore. All right, we're gonna trash some stuff. This definitely is gonna have botchless in it, which is gonna be a problem for us because our strat is really bad. But if we score an early sandbox, our strat is good. Can we do install? No, it's way too expensive. Thanks, you too. I gotta mulligan this. Built too fast for me. Hey, Jester. Sorry about, oh man, losing directives in the early game is like obviously the worst thing if you play Adam. Okay, so this is awful. This is bad. This is quite bad. Wow. I guess we open with this. Good night, all. Yo, good night, you Sengrin. Thanks for dropping in. All good. Hopefully my meta mate gives you a better challenge. I'm scared, man. Lou trashes things. Spin Doctor save us? Yeah, not amazing. What can we do from here? I think we have to ice HQ. We just have too many agendas in here. Border control on HQ is rubbish. Maybe we just want to push for the remote. The chance of them having a botulus in their hand is like so high. Or a cleaver. Ugh. Paperclip? I don't know. And that's why I like to have that extra threat. Like, yeah, okay, sure, you can get in there. You can do it. You can botulus it. Why not toss and spin? Yeah, maybe you're right, but then that's our whole turn, right? Like when we have to do draw. That's why I don't love Spin Doctor. Oh, we should have trashed that because they draw a card and get any credit. Oh, that's my bad. Was importing my deck into NetDB and door to door is gone. Oh yeah, there's no more currents to acquire. All the currents are gone. Rizeki, okay, obviously that's good. 0 early, that's really good. But this is like, you know, this is the credit a turn card you want. 1 click. In 6 turns, it'll give you 4 credits for 1 click. Oh, they got a paperclip in the bin. Oh, I guess we lose. Desperate plays, y'all. Mouseless remote. Beans. So they're on 3 credits. They'll be on 4 credits once they 0. I wonder if they're playing overclock. This is really hard. That is a toilet opening. And I feel like that's going to be a problem for a while. At least we have a lot of things to jam. Oh, second Rizeki. That's good. That slows them down a bit. I've had worse. Ooh, hit 5. Okay, that's good. Ish. A lot of options, but only 2 credits. So this is like the right time where they can't Wildcat Strike because we'll give them 4. Advance the mouse 3 times? No, we can't afford that. It's way too slow. You can't advance 3 times against 2 Rizekis. We can advance it once. Puemo, okay. That's another credit turn card. So we gotta go fast or their value. Like they're getting 3 credits full of free value every turn. You just have to go fast. Like that's incredible. Like you can't beat that. Unless you play traps. And then that whole economy value proposition is in totally toilet. Or not toilet, it's just different. MK Ultra in the bin too, okay. Good thing we have only 2. And a carnivore. Wow, they're playing carnivore. Okay, so they're gonna be on 3-esque credits. So we really need to get some of this down. So we'll do server 2. We'll get an early sandbox. Trashing the Puemo is not bad too. And probably this is 7 credits. We probably have to hedge fund here and discard the Audacity. No, I think we discard the Rashida because I think we jam the remote the next couple turns. And we can always Audacity one of these out, yeah. So hopefully they like install an imp or something and we sandbox them out. I don't know. Trashing this would be really good. Yeah, there's the imp. Okay. So they're going to run R&D, get value. So they'll trash whatever they see here. I don't think they're going to be, oh, besides that. No, they'll take that. That's fine. We didn't want to draw that. It's honestly fine that they steal that. Okay, they trapped an NGO front. Not using the imp counter. If they don't use the imp counter here, we actually get a free purge, like full purge on imp. Oh god, that's disgusting. Okay, now they're going back. They'll just imp whatever. Doesn't matter. Border control imp. Okay. Feels good. Oh. So you want to make sure you do that in the other order. You want to advance first. So you get your ability, and then you seamless, and then you advance. Because this says advance a card has no advancement on it, so you don't want to seamless that first. That would be bad. Now they're on 4 credits, but 2 a Puemu. So once we get the one of these out of hand, we'll try and fast advance the other, but we'll definitely trash the Puemu. It looks like they're installing something here. That's why it's hanging out here. So they're getting the Puemu credits. There's the Carnivore. So running R&D, they're going to put the pressure on. That's why it's having agendas in hand is actually kind of good. Because we don't have to ice R&D until we lose. But the mouseless on R&D is going to go pretty far. Honestly, the border control over HQ is the most dodgy thing so far. Sandstone is really good against Paperclip. Again, we haven't seen a botchless yet, but we will. Hit the second I've had worse off of this 0. Gain a credit, draw 5 cards, lose a card. It's a really good trade. Now they can throw out whatever garbage they'll have to throw out, like a Black Orchestra and another Carnivore or something. Elite strats, damn, they're good. You don't need no titanium ribs. Ah, I trashed the Spin Doctor. There you go, exactly. Threw in a Black Orchestra and it's a 0. Okay, not a Carnivore. They threw out 2 cards to save 2 credits. Like, sometimes that's right? Because you're going to throw out cards at the end of your turn, let alone you want to throw this out. Like, that's cool about Carnivore. It gives you that extra ability, even just to save money on things that have trash costs. Cast coming down. Okay, so next turn, they're getting a lot of money again. I just wish we had... Oh, we do have an end to run. Okay. Oh, we don't have a border control there. So I'm going to go server 2... Oh, we should have played in the turnout. I don't know if we want a hedge fund. I guess we will. We probably shouldn't have done that. We probably should have drawn once. Because we don't need the money right now. We need to see. But I didn't want to draw last click because then I'd feel really bad about it. So we should have planned the turn better. Because I don't think we want to end on 3 cards in turn. 3 cards in hand. Oh, wow. What did they do last click? You can play it like that. You should run 3x, push your luck in every deck, incredible amounts of money. It rotated. You can't even. Okay, so we made money. Question is, what do we trash? Chat, what do you think? So we had to trash a resource. Do we trash Puemu? Or do we trash Daily Cast with 6 credits? I think we just trash Daily Cast with 6 credits on it. Puemu is 6 turns. Yeah, we trash the cast. I don't think it's, yeah. Thanos, how's it going? Yeah, you always trash cast. It has more money on it. All my memes are old, man, right? You gotta respect the Sky Laser. We have Hortum on the remote, which is good. Having Sandstone on the outside is technically a liability. Having something in front of it's a bit better, but we can just fast events out here. Well, technically we want to get the Spin Doctor on the table first before we fast events out. Hippo. So if we res here, they'll use the Hippo on it, which is fine. If they Hippo this, it's fine. If we don't res it, they get free hits anyways. This forces them to spend 6 credits. Please don't hit the agenda. Oh, fuck, Spin Doctor. Okay. Well, at least now we're probably Audacity. That's all 3 of them. They're never coming back. They trashed all 3 of them. Damn. Let me move this. They hit all 3 of them. They're never going to recur. We have no more recursion. We have to just play out of hand. We're just going to Alice out and hope we top deck on, what's it called? Oh, no, please don't. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, our remote. We have to remote. Question is whether we advance this or not. They're going to be on 4, 5, 6, 7 S credits. I think we advance it. Just because if we get this with advancement token, we win off of hostile. But they can tell that's a agenda. Audacity means nothing to trash in HQ. Yeah, Audacity also needed cards in hand, so they were making it difficult anyways. Yeah, I don't know if we should have advanced. It might have looked better unadvanced. Because now they really need to go for it. If they get this, I think we're hugely on the back foot. They're on 10 credits. We just like straight up need a border control here. Ooh, Hippo, okay. Yeah, if we had a border control here, it would be okay. We're still going to throw the whole book at them. And then they have to worry about the tag here, but they probably don't. MU is scuffed. There you go. Imp. So they break all of this. And they don't have the money now. Continue. They actually don't have the money for sandstone. We also could blow them out by Archer in theory. Not that we have it, but like this is what you have to be scared of. Like you have to be scared of Archer, and you kind of have to be scared of, but not really. Let's go. Okay. So this will end the run. So we're gonna get this. So it paid off. This will be 5 strength, and they're short a credit. 1 credit. They could run back. And then they'd have to deal with this though. But unfortunately, this doesn't end the run. If this was any other ice in our deck. Oh, actually not Veritas. If it was almost any other ice in the deck. But they could consider running back. This would be pretty neat here. Honestly, it wouldn't be amazing. Like we'd spend it 5 to end the run. Like it'd be just as good as like that's the thing. This card is like 2 credit advantage on what's it called? On Firewall. With Firewall we can advance. Maybe Firewall's just better. But like with Ballista we just end the run. We can't trash a program. Okay, so they have to win this turn. Or steal both hostiles. Because we have an Atlas of the token. Yeah, they have so much work to do. Yikes. Yeah, that's fast. This is turn 8. This is us just jamming. And this is honestly, Seamless Launch like does its thing. Like Seamless Launch helped us get this thing out. We would Seamless Launch this for if we could. I like the sandbox, especially with sandbox energy. No, I hear you. I'll res this here. They can't let us fire forever, and we only need 2 credits to score out. But like, how many turns are we gonna purge, right? Yeah, they trashed the ice in front of Sandstone. They installed the Hippo and then broke the Hortum entirely with Black Orchestra. So they're just gonna let this fire. So they're gonna try and YOLO here. They technically can't run 4 times. But they actually can see a lot of cards with Imp trashing 1, Carnivore trashing 1. They trashed him as Fingo using the Imp, so they actually gained a card on here. They don't know the card we have in hand. That was a hostile, that'd be wild. All right, they're going in, letting it fire. All right, Friday chip. So now they can trash 2 cards from hand to draw 1. I don't think it's possible for them. Oh, they could. Yeah, I don't think it's possible anymore to win. They trashed NGO front. So they could go back, see a card, trash 2, draw 1. No, they actually could run twice, but on that last run, we'll pull an agenda. So they have to hit 2 agendas in a row here. Oh, they had an iPad worse. They programmed it to keep the pop-up window just when you advance, so you can just click advance, score. Yeah, that's been getting me. Like it's so now you don't have to do advance, click advance, which is what I'm hardwired to do. 1 credit score. Oh, you're right. It's a 1 credit to score. Yeah, you're totally right because of Weyland built the last. They're calling GG here because the last run we'll pull the hostile to hand. Woo. They were 1 credit short. Where is it? Yeah, but now the windows are staying over on top of other things, which is an issue. So yeah, score. Good game. Gotta rush that double Rizeki. Yeah, we know the chance. Like if we don't rush the double Rizeki, like we have to play something really unfair. Like we need to do border control remotes or whatever because you're not gonna beat this value. That cast hit was also like really, really good. If they had 6 more credits, it's a way different game. Well, we just did shuffle, but yeah, we had 2 trickle lights coming up, so we could kind of set up for it and score 3-2 from hand, but it's difficult. Oh man, I mulled into 3 agendas. No ice, I think. Yeah. Maybe. Yo, Will, good night. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I think if they slammed HQ, they might have done it. Like, they'd find out we just have a border control, which is a really bad res for us, and we had 3 agendas in there. We could have, like, aggressively fixed with Spin Doctor, but, like, keeping the agendas in hand actually kind of worked out for us. Because as long as we can build a remote that's secure enough, we're good. We can go. Lou pressure is better than I thought. Lou's really good. It's pressure. It lets you draw things. It gets multi-axis. I think Lou's ability is quite comparable to Hishiko. You got huge 0 value. Could body acid with good draw. Yeah, it's way good against acids too. And it's better tempo, I guess, than Hoshiko because you draw cards that turn that you can use, I guess. Yeah, this might be in a matchup where they could see like, okay, this is a fast matchup. Like Built to Last is probably fast. I don't even know. So maybe they install one Rizeki, but forgo the second Rizeki, stuff like that. Like you can make these decisions that can be quite impactful. And again, like the faster the game goes, and looks like right now standard is really fast. If by turn 9 the game is over, that means the runner had 8 turns, right? So 8 times 4, they have 32 clicks. So you really have to make sure that all your clicks are perfect. It's pretty good, but I wasn't in position to stop breakers if I hit ice. I probably need to just be slamming anyways. Ooh, I think most of the fine. Yeah, they can just fade check though. Weyland dies. All right. What is it, 11, 13? We can do another one. At some point, we'll hit that competitive button and become so scared. Once we play against, for Merlin, P2. What are the cards Rush Corps are more scared of right now? Diversions and Stargate? Honestly, Diversion's a really big deal. Stargate isn't something you're so much scared about, but it is something in which if you can't win by that point, you will lose too. So it's like, it's obviously bad, but if they drop a Stargate turn 1, it's not the end of the world because that's really slow for them. I think a bigger thing is you're worried about things like Boomerang and Botulus and to some extent Mayfly. I think that's a problem because you can't rush behind ice. You can't. You just can't do it. And I think I'd be way more worried about that. Like if our opponent had a Botulus on a remote, like they Botulus the Sandstone, it's useless. It's garbage. You can't purge it. You can't purge a single ice Botulus card because at the beginning of the turn they get a counter. And if you purge, you're not jamming. Excuse me. I think that's a bigger problem. Diversion of funds though is a straight up huge issue though because you don't ice HQ. Honestly, I think Conduit's actually worse than Stargate. Because Conduit, if you don't deal with it, you'll lose in a turn. While Stargate, you have actually a couple turns to lose. If you're unlucky. Or if you're lucky, I guess. I don't know. But Conduit, like, oh man, you put a Conduit down, you have to deal with that now or you'll lose. If someone's going to like tilt into R&D and just like turn 1 Conduit, run R&D, I'm way more scared of that than turn 1 Stargate. Because if they don't win immediately by seeing like 3 agendas or 2 agendas on the first Conduit dig, that's such a huge tempo loss. Because there's very little things they can do on 1 credit. And there's a lot of games on the channel where you see that. The first, the opponent will be like turn 1 Conduit, and then it'll look scary, but once the corp stabilizes, the runner's economy, not only the credits for the Conduit, or sorry, for the Stargate, but the clicks they spent on it, their economy is just tanked. Stargate lost a lot of equity to Spin Doctor. Yeah, it's a lot harder to leave agendas in there. The thing about Stargate is that it goes out when you're trying to rush, then you might not get a chance to fortify it again. I see what you mean when like if they trash all the ice, you can't fortify it. But a lot of the rush decks are running like, you know, Rashida, people are running Spin Doctor, Sprint. I feel like there's enough card draw, maybe Planogram too. That's not the worst, but I hear you. The thing is though, if they spend like 2 clicks and 4 credits just to get, you know, a good access on R&D turn 1, how are they going to contest the remote if you have what you need in hand? And the answer is Botulus. We figured it out. I haven't seen enough play where people like put things in archives with like Stargate and then lose to Spin Doctor. It's interesting. We did see a really cool play the other day where we tried to run a remote server and someone Spin Doctor to get enough cards to Anoetic Void. That was sick. Hey, Ryan? Oh no, oh no. Oh, Reina. Interesting. All right, economic pressure. So that can be kind of tricky. Thanks, you too. So Reina, first credit, first time you res a piece of ice. I forgot we have mass comms on our deck. It's going to be a wee bit more expensive. I don't know whether she's going to run emergency shutdown or diversion. Stuff like that can be actually pretty rude. But I still think here we just do border control into Rashida into credit. And then rest of border control for 5. You also have to play around. I think pretty consistently they're going to be running not only Xanadu, but also En Passant. So Have to watch out for that. Let's see what Reyna can do. Oh, that's a bit worse, but that's fine. We didn't want to score that anyways. I wish we could advance a card here. All right, so we can technically res through most things. I don't know. This is my like they slam Conduit go. I know we have to or slam Stargate. Going for a single axis here. So this is a thing that I don't know what exactly to say about, but a lot of times in like a system gateway and startup, a lot of people, or like, I don't know if it's a newer player thing, and I'm not saying Ryan's a new player, but that's a play pattern you see a lot where people go for singles in the early game. And I don't know if it's always right. Like, I think it depends on the matchup, and you need to get a certain amount of accesses to get a good chance to win. I'll res this just because we can recover with Rashida a bit. But the point being is like going for singles instead of setting up is something that's like really tricky. They now know what this is, so they can botulus it, but it's not particularly good to botulus. They have 1 click left though, so unless inside job happens. Okay. That's good. We can roll this. So we can do server 1. We can do, I guess we want to do R&D. We'll just hedge fund to get more money. I don't even know if the mass comms are good in this list. We haven't advanced anything. We're not even playing wall to wall. Like, we've advanced to 1 ice once. I think the mass comms are actually really bad in our version of this list. Sometimes you do advanced mass comms. Oh, liberate. Okay, that's good. They needed that. But hey, it seems a bit fast. Oh man, okay. That was the other one. That's fine. So we have a seamless, so we can go server 1. Server 1. What do we do here? I think we throw out a mass comms. I think we can just install an NGO front. Just distract them. Okay. I wish this was a spin doctor, honestly. 1 doof, 2 boomerang, 3 botulus. Are they running that? They can trash that if they want. It's just an NGO front. That might make them want to run HQ, honestly. Seems a bit sus. There you go. Seamless. Okay, that makes this a lot scarier. Having an on-tempo credit agenda is really good against Reyna. It puts the pressure on. So far, Reyna's cost us $1, but it does impact how we play. With respect to rush cards rush decks hate, yeah, I think that's fair. So we res them a Spingo, we res it for 4, it keeps them out of R&D. Yeah, we'll do it. Gets an advancement on it so we can mass comms sooner. So Reyna's 2 credits so far. They have access to no breakers. They've drawn 1 card. So either they have what they need in their hand or they just want to kind of destabilize us. But we've got 2 Rashidas into hedge fund. Like, our money's been really good. And last click, they drew. Okay. So we'll advance this first because that's the optimal order. Double, advance, score. So we ended up paying like 2 credits to score this to gain 4, right? Well, no, because we paid 1 for 2 counters. And we paid 1, got 1 counter. Got 1. Yeah, it's like 2 credits, right? That's amazing. Yeah, tempo positive agendas, huh? From here, we could Audacity out the food. I don't think we want to. I think we just score Atlas with a counter if we're feeling good about our remote server. We could do install advance. We could even advance this once. Reyna's link is gonna make our Veritas a bit worse. Okay, 40% here. NGO front, they'll probably trash that. Okay, hit the Atlas, bummer. I guess now we're pushing this, and we will Audacity it. We'll do single advance, install advance. Maybe we'll, no, we don't want to mass comments because we need cards in hand. Hopefully we top deck something better. That Atlas is huge for them. But again, they're not drawing through the deck. They're not doing anything. Like they need their hand to be good here because we're threatening. Oh, they're going for an en passant here, I think. Wait, what? Wait. Really? Why would they do this? What's the text en passant? Don't you have to make a successful run? I don't see what. Why are they doing this? Pass only makes successful run. Oh, it's a successful run this turn. Okay, so it's. I'll still res it. Because I thought en passant was a successful run on this server. So if they bounced off of that and jacked out, they could trash this thing. They definitely have an en passant in hand. So we're going to fire this. So we hit a Keiko. They have a tag. And they probably jack out here, and we got a credit back. So Reina did not, well, it technically cost us 3, but we got one back. Yeah, so Ampersand says, play, I'm surprised that this is the text is, play only if you made a successful run this turn, which they did on HQ. Trash one endless piece of ice you passed during your last run. So they'd run this jack out. And they remove the tag to protect the liberated and or be afraid of damage. So we'll do server 1, do advance. I guess we'll do advance here. And now if we top deck a 3-2, we'll just Audacity it. They have to run through this mouse list twice, which doesn't end the run. There is a reason to triple advance a mouse list. Okay, that's their, they drawn again. They haven't seen a lot of cards in their deck. I think they've only drawn 3 times. But it's like, is it, if you're, I don't know. We are posturing to win by turn 8. And that's, you know, kind of wild. All right, they finished. They have 1 click left. Is Run Amok still in the meta? Is that a legal card? I think it is, right? I think it's from Mumbed. Ooh, Crowder, okay. It is. Okay, so I'm going to leave that and score this out. Because if we Audacity, we trash that. Seen a deck running it. It got a bit better with prepaid and Poimo and all that stuff. Or a Mystic, not Poimo. So unfortunately, this doesn't help us score out too badly. I just didn't want to trash that card. But they could corrode through this. They're going to have to tank that thing twice and steal food, which won't put them on game point because it's not a real 3-pointer in their score area. But we are scoring agendas. Man, I would love to top deck a seamless launch. Oh, wow, they're going R&Ds. Okay, well, it's a bit less expensive because of the bad pub, that's for sure. Oh, that's my bad. So now it's like 2 credits to get through this? Cool. How many trash bills do we have on the list? Rashida, NGO, and Spin Doctor. I think that's it. Going HQ? Holy shit, are they apocalypsing us? Get out. No, they could have apocalypse. Wait, exploit's a legal card? I thought they were gonna apocalypse us. The apocalypse would have been so bad for us. Oh man, I'm so much cooler with that. Do we fast advance this? Yeah, why not? That's exploit. Oh man, we got exploited. That's amazing. I thought we were getting apocalypse. This is like so much kinder than apocalypse. But that's how you get Reina value, right? The cool thing about like Bisfingo is when we res it, it gets more tokens. Like honestly, de-resing this is actually kind of okay for us. Admittedly, we still have to pay 4 credits, but yeah, our remote server, they need to run it basically everything we jam into, which is a problem. There's a chance that we probably wanted to just slow roll this so that we could fast advance whatever we draw in our hand instead of like hoping that we top deck well. Never seen that played before? Yeah, I was convinced that that actually was in Terminal Directive. That's wild. How's it going, by the way, Bane? Because they were in the perfect setup. They played Liberated. They didn't draw a lot. They played their one program that they needed to. It was like perfect for an APOC. I tried it in Kent's pretty bad. Yeah, no, it's not great. Chisel. Huh. Tap, tap. I guess we don't res this, right? Res for 4. No, we res it. We have enough money. Doing well. Glad to catch the stream. Well, glad to catch the stream tonight. Oh, I thought that was tomorrow. Okay. So they're actually breaking it as well. So this will eventually trash itself. But now they're technically spending money. Oof. You do have a scored sandbox. We do. We do have a scored sandbox. But we don't want to purge here. We just want to draw into a win con. They know what this remote is. Like, we have to end up double advancing the mouse less, I'm pretty sure. I think it's not going to last much longer. This is our trickle light battery. We need it to stick. Okay, so they're at the top, so they're not going to lose the hostile. We could definitely still lose this. So we could purge. I'm going to draw once. Server 1. This they also break for 2 credits. I don't want to lose to Conduit or something. When does this get a counter? When you encounter host ice? Nah. No, I don't want to purge. This list could easily have CVS in it. Just because it is a fast events deck and we play sandbox, so there's like 2 good reasons to do it. I feel like that's actually really good. It's also something to jam with the remote, which is a nice thing to do in this list. No, of course. I hope that, of course, doesn't sound condescending. It easily could. But yeah, this looks like game point. So let's see what tricks they have. They might just eat the mouseless. But they have to run the mouseless in theory twice, and we have 9 credits, so we can technically res both of these, barring like some tricks. I don't know. This is like where they put down a Stargate or a Conduit, and we're actually quite scared. But I think they would have done that already if they had it. Yeah, they probably would have done it already. I think, of course, is legit polite. Of course you have to think. It doesn't come naturally. God, I'm going to be as condescending as possible. Oh, we'll res a mouse list to get some value. It's going to give a credit back, which is kind of nice. We have to get this thing resed, I guess. All right, what do we hit? Hit the en passant, okay. If we res the border control, we go down to 0. We can't guard R&D, so I'm not going to do this. They trash this for free. So I think we've spent 1, 2, 3, 4 credits for Reina. Doesn't seem amazing. Reina's ability just isn't good enough. I'm not going to res this because then we can't play anything that we top deck, and they only break this for 1 credit a run with the bad publicity. Oh, they tried to spin doctor. That's good. They have a tag. I wonder if they're going to clear that. They did last time, but they had to liberate it. Oh, they're not going to clear it. We don't have punishment. In theory, an exchange of information would be GG, but we have to top deck it or consulting. Nothing. Okay. Oh, you see? That's why we don't res. Oh, man, this is slow. Yeah, I don't think we should have Audacity. I think we should have kept the Audacity in hand. Not that it changed much, but that we also lost 2 ice. That's exactly, if we put a Veritas in R&D, like it's a problem. We'll res a border control just to make them spend money. They might chisel this. Please hold R&D. Yeah, it's holding. Another border control for the remote. Oh no, they're gonna do it again! They're gonna exploit us! They might exploit us again. Oh no, they're not. Okay, we're safe. Safe. I thought they were running HQ, running archives. Let's go. The access to the hedge fund from HQ as well. Okay, it's good to know. Always to know. Exploit would have been a problem there. Not that Apocalypse would have been way worse a long time ago. All right, still floating the tag. Seamless is nice. We'll draw once. Pretty far away. We're pretty far away from. I think we just. I don't know. Maybe we strap something on R&D and we res. If we res it, we res it. Can also advance a card. Yeah, we'll advance this. It's better than clicking for credit. Hey, Andre, catching you live for once. Yo, Martin, how's it going? Just want to thank you for all your content. Been watching you for years. Yo, cheers. That's really kind. Thanks for taking the time. Glad you can make it live. We're gonna have some more content coming out. I talked about this earlier in the stream, but the Jinteki review should be out at the end of this weekend or on Monday. So we're gonna have some more card reviews and stuff coming out. A double exploit would be wild. Double exploit would be really fun. It's only 2 influence too, but my god, like imagine we had 1 piece of ice there. It's just so hard to do all that just to like force the corp. Like 3 runs, normally every run you're gonna spend like 3 to 4 credits, and then you pay 2 on top of that just to force the corp to spend, you know, some money. It's only good when they have exactly 3 ice res, which means their servers are probably central servers are probably, you know, a bit good. So we have 1 hostile and 17 to win off the top. To build a remote server, we'd have to do like double border control, I think. Oh, smartware. Oh no. It's gonna be way too slow. Let alone they have a tag. Trickster Taka, we probably do trash. They don't have a decoder yet. Probably should just draw here. So they spend 2 clicks. We can spend, I think we trash the smartware. Do we think we're gonna win sooner than that? What do y'all think? Taka's 1 credit a turn. Smartware's 1 credit a turn. I think we're not scared of 1 credit a turn. I think if they clear the tag, it's even better for us. How much do we need to res this? We need 9 credits. Oh, liberated. Oh no. Oh, they cleared the tag. Nice. You're more scared of them drawing cards. Yeah, I think so. Archer, that's good. We'll draw. We can jam if it's an agenda. It's not. So we'll advance a card for money, I guess. God, this is really slowed down. Like we thought we were gonna win on turn 8. It's like what, turn 12? They're really not set up. Like this Hortums is gonna be a problem, but like botchless is an issue. Advancing the mouseless honestly is fine. Hit a border control. Okay. I don't. The HQ runs here. If we drew an agenda, we would have jammed it last click. So running HQ, I think it's not very good unless you have some additional value. Right, like this. You have to respect. Oh, this is where mass comms looks okay. I guess we just click for credit. We need money. I don't. We actually could consider resing the archer. I think the mouseless is least relevant. A mouse jam the agenda sick. Why? Why 2x the mouseless? Oh, like seamless. Yeah, we could seamless jam an agenda. That's 100% true. And now they have to use their breakers, so they really want to. Otherwise, Taka becomes an issue. Take a tag or trash this resource. So they probably just run R&D here. We're gonna end up spending 4 credits on Miss Fingo. Again, this is really cheap. And there's so many agendas in here. Oh, wow. Whoa, run amok. Okay. So you're just gonna hit a mouseless, and we're not gonna res anything. So you pay 3 credits to hit a mouseless. I guess they think this is an agenda. So we trashed our last card, which was a Xanadu. So this is a bit risky. We're still gonna res it. So we can draw an agenda here. We didn't. Okay. No risk. At least we got through a deck faster because we weren't going to draw an agenda anyway. This is run amok, mind you. It's behind my face. It's 3 credits to make a run, and trash and ice that was res this run. They trashed the spin doctor. Okay. So again, that was 5 credits plus a tag. And they still have to use the trickster Taka somehow. And like there's, I don't know. It's advanceable. So like worst case, it's a Colossus. If the Colossus hits a credit, we're good. It was an agenda you could res and trash border control, I guess. Yeah, if it was an agenda, we could consider resing and trashing the border control if it was an agenda. But then they, yeah, then they run back. I think you're totally right there. We have enough money. So we just want to top deck an agenda. Probably first clicks next turn we install the spin doctor. This is good. Going HQ here is good because we just drew cards on it and we couldn't control it. That being said, it's 1 in 7 if we, or 2 in 7 if we drew something. Can we afford to res this? There's like a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 4 agendas in here. It's like a 50-50 hit in agenda. It's a huge bummer here. They could run twice and definitely win. We'd border control if they get an agenda run back. They break that for free. Oh, wow. Okay. clear the tag too. Oh shit. If we double advance, we could have won here with hostile. Oh man, that's such a bummer. So I think we're gonna keep the hostile in hand. Yeah, if we double advance something instead of spreading advancements, we could have just installed hostile and won. So that's on us. We should definitely keep that play in mind. We also will shuffle more things back into the deck. So we'll do advance, and then we'll put the Afshar on HQ. So we'll throw out... Actually, this one is probably wrong to advance. We probably want to advance this one, because this one we have to res. And they could do run amok en passant. So it'd be better to double advance this thing here. That's technically a misplay. I like the archer. This thinking time equals we have an agenda? Yeah. Archer R&D, I don't think we want to, because if we res the thing with archer, then we can't win off the hostile. Resing Miss Finger would get the counter? Yeah, you're right, but if they run amok, we can't get the counter. Ooh, they have a chance here. They have one run here, so I'm not gonna res. 1 in 5. Fuck! Oh, they sniped it! It's okay. Ooh. And they had to trash Chixataga because they got an agenda. Oh no, the worst agenda to draw. How much money do we have? Not enough. We're gonna lose this one. We're 100% gonna lose this one. We have to do install advance. No, we don't. We can't. We can just do install. Yeah, we have to double advance this. The problem is if we seamless launch this. They cannot. No, they can. They have the unity. It's really expensive. So if we seamless launch this and we can do advance, then we'd have to do trigger light. Yeah, I think that's fine. I've never seamless launched for ice. That's really funny. Okay. Unity is really bad though with only 2 breakers, right? Like they still have to pump a bunch and we still have a border control on the remote. And to score out, we only need 3 credits. So we could get there. I think we lose to R&D though. Oh man. They sniped it. This is close. So again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 4 agenda points and 5 cards in R&D. And they break R&D for mostly free. Like we just couldn't draw our agenda soon enough. And this is like, you know, the play 40 card idea. So we just couldn't draw agendas. We had so many windows, we just couldn't get it. They've drawn very little of their deck. Like they can't break sentries, which again, our deck really doesn't have. This is a window where the archer on their mode is actually quite good. Resing the Misfingo changes very little. Because they break the Misfingo has 3 counters on it. No, we need to keep the money for their mode. Yeah, we have to get really lucky here. Don't forget to spin. I would have, thank you, yeah. Imagine if there's an Urtica you could put in server 1 and they check it. Well, it doesn't work like that, right? Like if this is hard to check, they probably won't check it. If it's an Urtica and we spend money and credits doing it, like they'll lose. Like this could have been a clearinghouse, which I think is better than Urtica in this situation. Okay. So we'll shuffle in some cards. I guess we'll do Audacity. Seamless launch. Yeah, I would have forgot. Thank you. Oh, they trashed Rashida. Okay. Yeah, MTI, it's kind of the problem, right? Like if you play big, deep remotes, the chance of them running is less likely. So you're better playing advanceable traps if you want to, that don't require them. Okay, now they still can win. That don't require them to run. I love watching people smack into Urtica. It's like a really big deal in Gateway to have a card that running it is incorrect. Oh, we win. I'm pretty sure. They didn't trash anything, so the only play they have is run HQ. Oh my god. Oh, excuse me. Man, that was way close. Serena costs us what, 4 or 5 credits? It just doesn't feel like it's enough. And it did change a bit how we play, but it doesn't feel like enough. We'll score up to 9. Good game. That was a close one. Huge shot there. on R&D for sure. Yeah, Eduardo. Yeah, that was really close. 65 to 66 credits. Yo, we hit parity really well there. Oh man. Thanks for the game. Hey, you too. You too. Like, look at this. This is almost half agendas. Yeah, Atlas, Seamless. The 2 cards we shuffled in, and it's just Atlas and Audacities. Oh man. Yeah, again, I think if their deck was maybe like if they could get through their draw a bit quicker, if they're a bit efficient, like we probably would have lost that, right? Like all they needed was a paperclip, and then just run R&D with a pressure card. Like as soon as they had something like Conduit, if they had something like Stargate, we would have lost that for sure. You killed it with BTL Dam. Yeah, we did pretty well there. Just jamming to the remote seems to work, but we didn't play once against any of the things that I think are popular and good against the deck, right? Like we didn't play once against Boomerang. We didn't play against Botulus, all that sort of stuff. That was really close. We got lucky there for sure. But we also got unlucky to some extent that we didn't draw. Anywho, that's the deck. I forgot to update Keyhole. That's my bad, I guess. Well, in this case, Andre Conduit may not have been much because they wouldn't see a single point for like 20 hours. Yeah, I know, but we would have purged it. I would have bought him time. It would have bought him time. And man, and we gotta, if we want to continue to play this, we have to remember to always keep a thing double advanced so that we have a trickle light play if we're holding a trickle light or whatever, just because we can't top deck a 2-1 at some weird times, especially with Spin Doctor, I guess. Okay. That's largely it. I don't know if this is better than anything else. Like our build to last ability didn't fire too often. I guess we could check that game how often it scored. Like we scored 4 agendas, we advanced 3 ice. So advancing ice honestly does nothing. It helped the trickle light, but it did nothing. So like that's not worth anything. I guess we did mass comms. Maybe that's worth something. But advancing the agendas and advancing the NGO front, if we ever did advance the NGO front, that's worth something. Anywho, I said this earlier. I'm exhausted tonight, so sorry if my energy's a bit off today. Oh man, we forgot to say this. Actually, this is a really cool thing. I don't say this enough on the channel, and I probably should start saying this at the beginning of my videos because it really is truly a big deal and it's something I care about. But the Metropolitan Grid YouTube channel just hit 4,000 subscribers. Oh, 4.1. Wow, nice. Got 10 subscribers. That's wild. We've been doing this for a while, and I haven't really focused on growth so much, but the growth has been really good the last couple months because of all the new players and because of all the new content that's coming out. So that's really awesome. If you aren't subscribed to this and you want to be, it really helps the channel out a lot. It makes it come up on people's recommendations, likes, comments, all that stuff helps a lot. So it's really cool. And I think that's great. I'm trying to shoot for 5,000 in a year. That seems super unlikely, but we can maybe get there. That'd be nice, I guess. Anywho, congrats. Thank you. The built to fast ability is tempo math. Even if you didn't use it as much, you can score on lower credits. Yeah, Thanos, that's true that you can score on lower credits. It's just it never really mattered. And we're scoring out on super low credits anyways. But you're right. We can go to like 0 credits and still score out, or 1 credit and score out with Audacity. Brand new to Netrunner this week. Great channel. Oh, Mick. Yo, that's awesome. Yo, Mick, it's really nice that if you're brand new to Netrunner and you say something. I like one of the best things is to hear from players who are brand new to Netrunner, to hear what the experience is, what content looks like, what sort of things that we say or people in the community say that you don't understand. All that sort of stuff is really important. So glad that you can say hi in chat. Anywho, that's largely it. We'll get the Jinteki review, the next review up for System Gateway. We missed a week. But we got back on the train trying to do 1 a week, and they'll be up on, I'm hoping, either Sunday or Monday. That's it. I'm gonna go find some food, get some rest. Pretty hungry. Thanks so much for everyone hanging out in stream, everyone in the chat. It's awesome. Everyone who played games against today, hey, thanks so much for that. And if you're watching the VOD, hopefully you're doing well too. Enjoy the snow, man. Enjoy that April snow out there. When you hit 5K, you got to do a throwback with Pat and the other guy, like the OG Metropolitan Grid. Oh, that'd be great. Benoit, yeah, man, he's still around. I think Benoit actually just bought Gateway cards too. The community seems awesome for this game. It really is, Mick. People say it's a lot, but the community for this game is something special. Like I play a lot of other games, and this one is like, it's something else. It really is. So we'll be back in a week. Take care.